What's up, guys? Rich Boy J here, back again with another live stream. Today, I am going to be finishing up my beautiful, not UCS, it's not a UCS, my 18 plus 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm R2-D2 set. If you were here for the last time, that is basically the last time I touched this set. So it's been months now. Jeez, that was May. Oh God, it's been quite some time. It's been like 3 months. So we're finally going to get to finish up R2-D2. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and do the rundown for all of the beautiful people who have joined us today. Shout out to everyone attending Boyo Church right now. Your Boyo Savior will look fondly upon you when Boyo Judgment Day comes. So shout out to Dutastic, Triceratops T-Rex, Count Ravioli, Dark Stormtrooper, Star Max, The Brick Guild, Darth Maul Lego, Mr. Know-It-All 1, Not That Sam Smith, Playmation Shorts, Gimme Bricks, Insert, Axidroid, Star Max, Jonathan Clues, Lego Soldier 82, Cult of Christensen. So you know what? I'm going to do something. Oh, Star Wars, what's going on, dude? So any of you who have been around for the streams for any amount of time have known that whenever Blue Brick's in the stream chat, I always scream, Blue Brick! But he hasn't been here for like in a very long time, at least not the beginning of these streams. So I need to find someone else who's reliable to be here, because I do really miss screaming Blue Brick, but if he's not going to be here, then we got to replace him. So cast your votes. I want everyone to pitch to me why you should be the name that I highlight at the beginning of these streams. So we'll see how that goes. This is going to be a Boyo stream. I think last one was a guest stream, so I'll just talk with the Boyos today. Looks like we got 2 people already in the chat, so let's go ahead and talk to them.
Meeting up with Ethan and stuff. That was cool.
Hey Bob, you're live on the internet.
Hi everyone.
Hello, folks.
This is
we
like...
never...
Oh, good.
I said we never did that Brick Fair stream.
We were so busy. I mean, I don't know.
We did a small opportunity to do it in the hotel room for just like 30 minutes.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know. I feel like we used our time very effectively there.
Yeah, I would agree.
Can't wait for that Brick Fair vlog or Brick Fair video you're gonna make, right, Jay?
Yeah, that's coming at some point.
Yeah, I'm starting to make the Google Drive, so I'll give you the link.
Okay, sweet. And yeah, shout out to Colt for like being such a pro with the Google Drive for the Brick Rodeo pictures, because he like titled every picture like
nearly
specifically, and it was just so helpful whenever I had to do that second part of the reflection. So I really did appreciate that.
Yeah. The Brick Fair one's gonna be really cool. So,
what a great question from Coconut Brick Studios.
Oh yeah, he says, "Yo Jay, what was your favorite part of Brick Fair, Virginia?" That's a good question.
Hanging out with his best buds.
I mean, obviously those nights where we watched Indiana Jones were super fun. Like,
yes,
that was the best bonding experience for sure. But I think overall, I just gotta say, like, especially coming off the heels of Brick Rodeo, being able to go to a convention with my build mostly together and being able to just enjoy an actual convention rather than building the whole time, I think that was the most just relieving part of that whole experience. I mean, I also met tons of people. I mean, it's hard to narrow it down just to once. Brick Fair was really like a euphoric type of experience, just with all the awesome things that happened over that weekend. So
Yeah.
it's hard to pick just one.
Would you go out and say it's your favorite convention you've been to?
I might say that, yeah. I probably will, actually.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
Because,
I
mean,
Wait,
it's the
How
biggest convention that I've taken, like, a big mock to. So, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
how was the drive to Brick Fair?
I mean,
Very long.
Yeah, how was that?
so real
it took us
quick,
a day to get there and get back to Texas. Like we drove through.
hold on,
obviously,
before you
like,
get into that, hold on.
Texas.
Real quick. Shout out to Brent's Bricks for the $1.99 dono. He says, heading to work, but I gotta make my usual dono. Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate that. But yeah, Colt can give the itinerary for all the places we visited.
Like we freaking like. Hang on a second. Let me look this up really quickly.
So we definitely went through Louisiana. We went
Okay,
through
so let me pull the
Mississippi, Alabama.
Well, speaking of that drive, I don't know if you remember this, Shane, but I called when I got back to the airport. You remember that? Or when I got home from the airport, or at the airport, whatever. The reason I called you guys is when I landed, I felt so depressed. I was so upset that Brick Fair was over. I was like, oh, this sucks.
He was having Brick Fair withdrawals. Because you gotta understand, like, I mean, Brick Fairs, like, Lego conventions are like summer camp tailor made for us, right? It's like, you know, you go off to this place and you're around Lego all day for like 4 or 5 days straight. You're around Lego lovers all day for like 5 days straight. Like, there's just no other experience like that you can get other than at Lego conventions. So it's
absolutely the people. I mean, the builds were awesome. Like I mean, my favorite build the whole entire convention was a SpongeBob mock. So
Yeah.
As you will.
Squid Bill was awesome. Yeah.
But, yeah, the Brick Guild says the week after Brick Fair was depressing.
Yeah.
It really is.
Real quick, so we drove through a good portion of Texas, like straight through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, a little bit of Alabama, Tennessee, and then like literally like all the way across Virginia.
Did we not pass through? I'm pretty sure we passed through Georgia as well, like a little sliver of it.
Yes, we went through a sliver of Georgia.
Yeah.
That's correct.
But yeah.
It was crazy.
Food, like gas station food.
Um.
What do you guys eat?
Oh god. I mean, we ate just
Like
garbage
junk,
the
like
whole way there.
McDonald's and
Yeah.
I don't know, Jack in the Box. I don't know, like.
Yeah, we went to.
My gosh, Jack in the Box. That is a place I basically never heard of. And I recently was watching a ton of the commercials they've made, and now I want to eat there so badly.
That's so funny
Okay.
because like I've just grown up watching Jack in the Box commercials, and it's nothing special. Like
They are absolutely special. They are the best commercials ever.
I don't think we actually went to Jack in the Box though. I know we went to
maybe we
Wendy's.
didn't.
We went to Wendy's. I'm pretty
Went to
sure.
Wendy's. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Wendy's.
That was like so we pulled up to a McDonald's that we were supposed to go there. We weren't supposed to go to Wendy's, but when we got to the McDonald's, there was a cop car like that pulled someone over in the parking lot, which was weird, but whatever. But as we're sitting there in line, we just start seeing like random people pull off, and we're like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then we notice there's like a lady on the inside of the McDonald's because this is in the middle of the night. This is at like 10, 11 p.m. And
Oh, damn.
and the lady is just like kind of like telling us like no, like I don't know if they didn't have any food or like something wasn't working on the inside, so we had to leave that McDonald's and then we like went across the highway to a Wendy's on the other side, and we and then I don't know, this could just be a Brick Fair reflection stream, but one of the funniest things that happened, I think the whole trip, was the van that we rented, the driver's side window wouldn't let down. So when we went through the drive-through, I had to pull up like past the window and then open the door and like reach out the door to like give them the money and to get our food.
God.
The girl standing there must have just been so freaked out. Like in the middle of the night, some van pulls up and like rather than rolling down the window, the guy opens the door.
Oh my god.
Just a moment at Brick Fair that Jay and Ethan and all of the hotel boys will remember is when Colt decided to just open a Coke.
Yes.
We were about to watch Indiana Jones when we brought some of the Cokes from our hotel room.
Yeah, so this was during like the middle of the movie when the pizza arrived. I just cracked open a Coke because I wanted to have my pizza, and just exploded all over. I was sitting on Ryan's bed, aka Lawless Bricks, his side. So just there's Coke everywhere.
Yeah.
And a couple people were filming.
The best part about it, though, is, and I was talking to, me and Jay went to CVS the next night before we watched Temple of Doom, and I literally started almost crying, laughing, just reflecting on it. The fact that you opened it and just, like...
And just sat there.
You just sat there and just looked at us.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I can't stop it now.
Bro, Colt froze up.
Bit of, if you watch JB's vlog, there's a little bit in there, but when you see... when Dallin releases his next part, and when Jay releases his vlog, you're going to see more footage of that. But that was really funny. And what was interesting was, I remember, like dropping that Coke at one point. I was like, oh, shoot, it's probably going to explode. But I totally forgot about that. I just opened it like, oh, I want to have this Coke, and just get it all over myself.
Don't let Colt drink on your bed. Real quick, Dayton L asked a question. He says, hey, man, long time no talk. Same to you. How long do you think it will take to sort Starkiller? Oh God, it'll definitely be some months. I'm thinking. So here's the thing, right? Like, I never actually finished sorting Crate, so I never actually. Vardos got mostly sorted. Vardos is probably the most extensive sorting that I did, and Scarif as well. So I don't know. It might be some years before I fully sort Starkiller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, even with my way smaller mock, I still have all my 10 pieces just in one beam.
Exactly.
Like, sometimes you just don't want to bother.
Yeah, especially, like, at this point, I'm still catching up on a lot of things that I had to put off when working on Starkiller, like the Boil Lounge, which is actually, it's sitting right here next to me, but you guys can't see it, obviously.
You already...
Oh my god.
I'd say it's probably like 40% done.
Okay.
A lot of the
true redacted.
A lot of the main like unique things about it are done, and it's like it's pretty cool. I think it might be one of the funniest videos I've ever made, just because of the things that are in this mock.
Okay.
I haven't showing anything in my mock.
What'd you say?
I'm glad you're keeping everything secret.
Yeah, no, that's kind of like one of the main appeals, right? Like it'll be a big deal whenever I reveal it. He says, "Is Playmation in the Boil line?" Of course, man. Of course. Playmation will absolutely be there. Playmation is a
this
goat.
video is just insane.
Yeah.
It's like on the level of the movie. Like, you could just watch it casually and watch it as a movie.
Exactly. Yeah. I can't wait for him to finish, because I might end up watching that more than I watch the actual A New Hope.
Playmation. I have a question. Is it going to be the special edition remake, or is it going to be the OG?
The original cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's how I remember him when I asked him that. Yeah. Yeah, and I've actually seen the first 30 minutes of the stop motion, so I've seen the exclusive footage before anyone else, which is cool.
Oh yeah. Playmation asks, "What did I think of Indiana Jones?" I thought the first one was very good. The second one, I wasn't a huge fan of.
You're gonna like the third one when you see it.
Third one will be your favorite.
The third one has the best consistent tone. I actually rewatched it last night.
Oh yeah.
Because I was in an Indiana Jones mood. But yeah, the third movie is quite good.
Okay, cool.
And the fourth one, what happens exactly again? Like, I know there's an
I haven't watched it in a while.
The fourth one is a movie. I guess I won't spoil it in case Jay ever watches it.
Yeah.
But the fourth one is consistently probably the worst. But with all, like, it being the worst isn't saying much. It really gets overhated so much. Like, the only really bad part about that movie is the very, 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 very end. Like, one little scene that's like one of the stupidest scenes.
I think some of the CG in the movie is very distracting.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the question: is it worse than the prequels?
No.
Wait, shut up. No. Hey, what are you trying to do here?
I honestly just wanted Bob's reaction to that. I wanted Bob to be like, "Absolutely not. How is that even possible?"
No, it's better than the prequels. Yeah.
Mr. Know-It-All 1 asks, "Did you ever get a good Marauder?" You'll just have to see. You'll have to stay tuned.
bro. I still can't believe that happened.
I can't believe that happened twice, bro. That's
Yeah. Of course, it happens twice.
Especially
bad
to
luck,
like,
rich boy.
especially since I went to 2 different stores. Like that's just insane.
I was telling Colt, what a stuff. Like, you have to be so low to steal toys out of a children's.
Yeah,
Down bags.
yeah. No, it would totally suck if like some kid ended up with that set, and like, I mean, who knows if the parents willing to go back and exchange it or whatever. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't even imagine. Like, in all my childhood of building Lego sets, I don't think I ever once came across like a missing part, or if I did, it was never anything that I didn't already have on hand. So like, I can't imagine, buying a set that I really wanted and all the figures are missing. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, now that I think of it, like as a 7-year-old, I once cried because I couldn't figure out like a technique thing. Like, imagine not getting the figures that you're looking forward to.
Yes.
Like, damn.
Exactly.
Especially for Christmas, imagine that.
Yeah.
Oh, don't even. That's what makes me so mad about the whole situation. Is I'm like, It's like it's one thing for Jay to get it, and then we just laugh at Jay because he's an adult. He can go back and get it. But as a kid, like, okay, maybe you can return it, but like the whole entire hype of getting a Lego set as a kid is I'm gonna go home, build this thing today, and play with it today. That is
Exactly.
the goal. I am hyped. And then when you get it, you're like, what the heck? And then as a kid would probably just think it's a wrongdoing by Lego, not even.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And also, like, we as collectors, we buy sets, we might keep them in box for a little bit.
Yeah.
But as a kid, you want to build it as fast as possible.
Yeah. Imagine if I invested, quote unquote, in those Marauders. Oh god.
Invested.
Yeah. Do I know when David will go live again? Nope.
David's very busy with stuff. That's all I'll say.
Is he? I haven't talked
Yes. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm not saying anything.
to him. Okay.
Well, he's just very busy right now.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
David's
Just working
been
on stuff.
doing some underground fighting. You heard
Yes.
it. You heard it
He's
here
going
first.
to Mars.
Yes. Lego YouTuber builds a spacecraft. I feel like if anyone would do that, it definitely would be Timmy. Like,
Oh my god.
it's funny because no one in their right mind wants it. What, the Marauder?
No, that's a great set.
No, the Marauder transport's good. I built it. It's
Yeah,
good
it's only
for sure.
I've been seeing a lot of pictures of people who have bought multiples of those, and I'm like, I might have to get like 4 of them because that Mortar Trooper, oh my god, that thing,
Yeah, the Mortar
dude.
Trooper's awesome. Mm-hmm.
That thing.
I don't even like. Yeah.
Wait, is
Like-
you guys on Amazon also cheaper right now? Because mine is like €10 cheaper on Amazon.
Oh really?
Oh no, there's a sale right now.
I actually.
That's worth it.
So I had a little. Oh my god. Okay, I'll tell that story later on. I had another Duel story, but it was a successful story. So.
Oh,
we'll have to
sure.
get into that one.
How successful?
Oh no.
Like a private story you can't say on stream.
No, I can. I mean,
Let's just say that Jedi Bob is a man.
no. Anyways, so I found out I forgot I have a $50 Amazon gift card that I got for graduation, and I don't know what to spend it on. So, any suggestions?
Lego.
Lego, obviously.
Uh,
Yeah.
I could get a A-wing. I could get Boba Fett.
What? No.
Boba Fett Star.
Do not buy that slave one. No.
I'm not going to. I already have the UCS one. Why would I get that?
Oh,
Yeah.
what a flex. Colt, have you built yours yet?
Technically, well, what's interesting about that set, it came in a ginormous box, and it was still pre-built.
Oh wow,
So-
interesting.
I'm still contemplating if I want to completely disassemble it and build it.
Oh, you should. 100% you should build it.
Okay,
Yes.
that's what I'll do then.
There's only a few sets
Dude.
I've done that with.
What? I didn't
Yeah.
know Vader's Castle was even still available.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently it is.
Get that set before that set is going to go up in price. You should invest in it. That is not like I know for a fact that's the type of set that's never going to be remade, and you should buy it because it's a great set.
I don't know, dude. I don't. I'm not. I
And
mean,
Jay doesn't like it because it's EU garbage, but it's
it's
a
not
good
even
set.
that. Look, no, it's well, one. It's not EU garbage. It's in Rogue One. But I don't think.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, it's not in the Clone Wars, dude.
Well, specifically, it's based off that VR game.
Right, but I'm saying like it's not just something like I've never seen other than the video game. But I don't know. I don't think that's one you're gonna miss out on.
You will.
Okay.
Why is everyone disagreeing with me? This set's so good.
It's not. I mean, it's a fine set, but it's just.
Just get the Blue Trooper on Bricklink, and then.
The Blue Trooper sucks. He's like my least favorite part about the actual build is so cool. It's a giant castle.
Cool, but
I think my favorite part of the build is the Vader, like the like back to tank Vader. Yeah.
Corn.
Back to tank Vader. Yeah.
Well, you guys can regret it one day. I'm gonna sit here knowing I was right.
I will sleep just.
No, yeah, we'll be all right.
I mean, I haven't, and it's just collecting dust.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's
no, but like if it was a set you cared about, you might like go and look at it every now and again. But I don't know I don't know. I didn't really care about that set.
Well, that's fair.
I mean, it might just be me only, but I'm not that big a fan of location sets.
Bro, we might honestly, in real talk, we'll probably see Vader's castle in the Kenobi show.
Oh yeah, you're right, bro. You're right.
Guys, go out and buy the Rogue Shadow. It's gonna go up in price. They're never gonna make it again.
Me and Ethan saw the Rogue Shadow at Atlanta Brick Co. He actually considered maybe buying it.
How much was it?
A lot.
Oh god.
I don't remember.
I did actually kind of like that ship.
I think it was like 90, 80, something like that.
I got that set, I think, like for Christmas when I was a kid, and I did like it. Like it's a cool vehicle, but I don't know.
What are you supposed to do with it? It's just kind of like
like I hadn't played The Force Unleashed, and like I didn't know who any of the characters were. I just like, oh, it's just a cool ship. Like that's all I do.
Man, Atlanta Brick Co. was a fun day when me, Ethan, and John were all hanging out.
Yeah, I was gonna say you saw Jonathan there. That's cool.
Yeah, we actually all got Chick-fil-A because it was near the end of the shift, and me and Ethan wanted to go eat, so we were like, "You are coming with us."
Wow, thanks for the invite.
Oh, sorry, Jay. We could have waited, the.
Bro, I would have showed
hours.
up. I would have showed up.
They had my dream set while we were there. I was so depressed. So when we were there, me and Ethan walked around the store like 3 times maybe, and on our 3rd walk around, I'm like, oh man, yeah, cool, old Batman sets, and then I stopped dead in my tracks. They had the OG 2006 Batcave.
Yo.
And I was like, because I'd never seen that thing in real life, and I was like, oh my god.
Why didn't you buy it?
It's $420, but it's complete. The ears are in good condition. Everything's in really good condition. So
I wouldn't pay $420 for that.
That's really
too much.
I would. That's reasonable price.
No, bro, you passed up on one for like $300 like 6 months ago.
Yeah, well, I didn't know what the quality that this one's 100% in good quality.
That one wasn't good quality.
I could not justify paying that much money for like a childhood playset. I don't like. Oh my god, that's so much money for that.
It's like the 2nd biggest dream set I've ever had besides the MTT, which I got the MTT already, so like...
That's still so much money for a Batcave.
I know, I can't... I'm not justifying buying it, because I was just like, no, it's just too much for a set that I would have loved as a 10-year-old, but now it's just going to kind of... I'll be very appreciative of it, but I can kind of just... It's just not worth it now, so I don't know.
I'm trying to think. I don't know, man. That's for the Batcave. Maybe if it were Star Wars, I'd feel differently. I think maybe that's where the disconnect is here.
Does the Batcave have exclusive figures or no?
Yes, a lot of their figures are super expensive.
Alfred is. That's it actually.
I thought the Freeze goes for a good amount, Robin goes for a good amount.
No, the Freeze, Mr. Freeze was in a cheap 08 set for like $10. Same thing with Penguin and Robin. They were in like a $15 set in 08. I think Mr. Freeze's henchman, that guy is exclusive. But technically, the only it's literally just like the Joker henchman guy, except with like a blue torso. That's the only difference. So yeah.
Dude, how much is that Dark Knight's Joker going for? Must be so much.
Probably a lot. Probably like 80 or 90. or something crazy.
Jeez. I don't know. Never mind. That would be cool to have that Heath Ledger Joker, but it would be even cooler if Lego made. It'd be even cooler if Lego made the best Joker.
Okay. Sure.
Is he in the new Suicide Squad?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Hopefully not. No, he's not. He's definitely not. No, it's not been retconned, but I think the DCEU just got everything wrong with Batman so quickly, and they just kind of destroyed that part of the or the DCEU, which sucks.
Why is it called real quick? Why is it called the DCEU?
DC.
But like, why is that? Why is it the expanded universe? Like, I don't.
It should be cinematic.
Yeah, I guess DCCU didn't roll off the tongue.
Probably because of that.
But the Batman movie, I'm very excited about because that is not part of the DCEU, and that's just its own thing, which means it'll be great.
Is that the Robert Pattinson Batman?
Yes, it looks so good, dude.
Is it in the same universe as Joker? I don't remember.
No, it could be, but I don't think they'll do it, and I hope they won't. I hope this thing just stays on its own. It's almost looking to be more realistic than the Dark Knight movies, which is really exciting. So,
honestly, I'm so maybe comic book fans. I mean, because it's like a comic book thing, but like, I could not deal with all these universes in Star Wars. Like, I'm so glad Star Wars has one timeline, and there's one.
I agree.
And there's one version of every character other than Han Solo, and like,
that's why,
like
that's why I like the MCU so much also as well. Just one timeline and they keep together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I agree. I think that's why the DC kind of sucks in a sense because like everything's so messy. It's so we retconned this. Oh well, we made this canon, and it's just DC honestly needs a giant. DC needs to press a giant reset button that just says, "Hey, these few movies are canon. Nothing else is, and that's that. No more nonsense. No more silliness."
Yes.
Yeah, because with the DC right now, it's just pick and choose what you like, and it's not all connected and stuff.
So Bibby with the high IQ comment, he says Star Wars doesn't need multiple timelines because no one dies and can come back whenever. That is true.
They just respawn.
Yeah. They just regenerate.
Anyways, yeah. So, hey Jay, how's all my pieces doing at your house?
Oh, I thought those were my pieces now.
Yeah, I was thinking to give you the list of the pieces that I left over there.
Bob definitely told me that I could just keep those pieces, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
My bad, yeah, of course. I won't need them for the rock bottom lock.
You're building rock bottom. It's not even tan.
Isn't it?
I would do that mock like blue, honestly. I feel like gray or blue would work better for rock bottom.
Like a sand blue, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's dark down there. It's tan, but it's just really dark. So I guess in order to...
Hold on.
Yeah, I guess...
I think what you're trying to say is it's dark down there.
That's one of my favorite episodes of all time.
I can't understand
I'm building
your accent.
The location of the SpongeBob episode from season 1, Rock Bottom, where SpongeBob gets stuck in like the sea floor.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in real life would be the sea floor.
Nice.
Why are you building
really
that?
Can we talk about the new SpongeBob seasons? Like, what the hell?
I haven't watched SpongeBob in forever.
Like, the newer SpongeBob series are not the same as the older ones I used to watch.
No, absolutely not. Well, they were supposed to end the show. It's like the
Simpsons.
Simpsons.
After the movie. Yeah.
They were supposed to end the show after the first movie.
Yeah.
And even though season 4 is fine, the rest of them kind of went downhill.
Yeah.
Wait, they were supposed to end The Simpsons after the Simpsons movie?
Huh?
You said like The Simpsons. They were supposed to end The Simpsons after the Simpsons movie?
No, I'm just saying like The Simpsons in the sense that they just run on so long where it's like, yeah, cool, they're still relevant, but the show's just kind of, you just do it for too long and then you just kind of run out of steam.
I'm happy The Simpsons is still going on. Like, I don't know. Like, people complain about the new Simpsons, but I think it's still fine. I think it's still a good show.
I mean, it's not bad by any means. It's just not, like, when you go from peak of a show to just mediocre, mediocre is fine. That meets requirements and stuff.
But I don't think that's the
Like,
thing. I don't think it's mediocre at all. Like I think it's still good. Like I was watching this episode where they go to Cuba recently, and in the background, Bark spray paints the Bart on one of the like buildings there, and I was like, oh, that's so freaking funny. Because in America, it's always El Barto, but once he goes to a Spanish-speaking country, he just spray paints the Bart.
Funny.
Yeah, like that's hilarious.
But SpongeBob definitely did have a decrease in quality in the sense that it feels like, and I know I'm looking too deep, but I SpongeBob with everything I have. The characters definitely feel like ways just dumbed down, but like you notice in the old SpongeBob episodes, right? SpongeBob would get like pissed off sometimes. Like he wasn't just 100% had one emotion the whole time. But I feel like in the newer seasons and stuff, he's just stupidly happy the whole time, and I'm like, this isn't what he used to be.
I've actually heard that the newer seasons, like the past 2 or 3 seasons of SpongeBob, have actually improved upon, like, are actually like better. Like especially like if you know anything about SpongeBob, like season 6 is like the worst season of SpongeBob. Like that's after that season, that's when I stopped watching the show. But even though season 6 does have one of my favorite episodes, Sandcastles in the Sand, where
that's a great episode.
SpongeBob and Patrick just go at it in a full-on war, like super fun. That one's awesome.
Is it the snowball fight or?
No, it's in the sand. Like they're
they have like this World War II like style fight. It's like,
of course that's the episode y'all
was
like.
really good. Season 4 gave us Krusty Towers. It gave us the fear of a Krabby Patty, where the Krabby Patty walks in his room and goes, "Hey SpongeBob, there's a cookie and some chocolate milk," and he's like, "I'll be right here." In my heart, no, in your colon. Episode.
I think people kind of take for granted though. Like SpongeBob's never gonna hit the way it hit when you were a kid. Like it just never is.
That's true, but like, man, I go back and watch like those old episodes. I still laugh at them. They are so funny.
Right, but part of that is because of like the way you experienced it initially. Like
no, I disagree. No.
You can't separate the two.
People and I still think it's funny.
Nah,
like, I disagree.
I guess so.
No, I absolutely disagree.
I mean, you might show it to a new person and it's funny to them, but like, is it something they're gonna go back and rewatch and like hold up to like a certain standard? Probably not. Like,
okay, so here's what I'll say though.
It'd probably just be like every like meme you watch nowadays, or like, oh, that's a funny meme, and then you just like never think about it again in your life.
I'll say this though. So I didn't grow up with like OG SpongeBob because I was growing up mainly in the 2006, 7, 8, 9. Like that's when I would have been watching SpongeBob, and by that point, they were on like season 5 and 6. So like, I grew up with the later seasons as well as the older seasons because Nickelodeon aired all of them.
Yeah.
But I still have always had a preference for those older episodes, even though I watched them all around the same time frame. So I feel like.
But if you watch the older episodes when you were a kid as well, like.
I watched all of them when I was a kid, though. But now that I've grown older, I can notice that those older episodes are just better than the other episodes.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying it's not the case that like the older episodes are not better than the new ones. Like they're probably a lot better. But I'm just saying like. SpongeBob's never gonna feel the way it did before. Like if they made an episode that was quote unquote the quality of those original episodes now, it wouldn't feel the same to you as like those old episodes did when you were younger.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Playmation asks real quick, do kids get a kick out of the new SpongeBob's like we did with the old ones? I mean, I think like humor is just so different. Like when we were younger, we had like what we saw on TV, and that was pretty much it. But like kids can go find like the funniest thing ever on the internet, like at any time they want. So, I mean, there might be some like really funny things in SpongeBob, but like there's just so much more things that they can go watch that I don't know if SpongeBob would feel so funny because like there's so many other jokes they can find in other places.
So, you know what I noticed about Rock Bottom that I would have to do? Is if I made a Rock Bottom mop, since all the fish people are like the weird the weird fish type things that like live in like the trenches and stuff in the real ocean. I would have to use like space police aliens to like, replicate the fish people.
Exactly. Yeah. I would love to do a Ghoul Lagoon mock. The biggest thing that would stop me from doing a SpongeBob mock is really the same thing that would stop me from doing a Simpsons mock, and that's just that like the minifigure selections. Yeah, it's so limited, which sucks.
You have to get customs.
Exactly.
What do you
3D printed stuff.
You have the main cast of Squidward, SpongeBob, Patrick, Plankton, Krabs, Sandy.
Okay, but for Ghoul Lagoon,
for the Ghoul Lagoon, exactly.
You have to have Larry the Lobster.
Bro, you gotta have Bubble Buddy.
Yeah, like Bubble Buddy.
That's true. That's fair.
And also just random civilians. That's the thing. Like that's the biggest thing. Like there's just no random civilians.
Yeah, there's barely like.
They only made 3 fish people, which were the bus driver, the doctor, and the.
No, there's a lot more. No, there's a lot more.
No, there's only 3 fish people. Yeah, there's only 3.
No, there's the my leg guy. There's the.
No, Lego.
Oh, I thought you were saying in SpongeBob. Okay.
The only head you can realistically use that Lego made was the bus driver, but his facial expression looks pissed for some reason.
Yeah.
So, like,
no, it makes sense because in the context of the set, that set is loosely based on.
I understand that, but if you want to have like a bunch of random civilians, but you use that head, you should have a bunch of pissed people.
Right.
You could use the glove-hold guy. He has a plain head.
Yeah, like the salesperson.
Well, he's like really happy. Like they're just 2 extremes, you know.
Yeah, there's no stoic expressions.
That's true, but I feel that's the good thing about Rock Bottom and that's the funny thing about Squidville. It works perfectly because
they're just all Squidwards, yeah.
And you can use a bunch of the same ones. The Rock Bottom, they all look so freaky. You can use like alien species and like, and it would still look relatively normal.
Yeah.
Shouts to Joe's RC and Lego. Those are like my 2 things right now. He says, I just built this the other day. Love it. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Playmation says Simpsons needs more figs and random civilians in a Simpsons mock would be literally impossible. Exactly. I think Simpsons, you have a little bit more freedom because oftentimes in Simpsons, if there's like a specific event happening, everyone there are recognizable people. But there's still just so many that you'd need that we don't have. Like if I wanted to, for example, build like The Simpsons or Springfield Elementary, like I could have like 5 kids and that would literally be it. If I wanted to build the nuclear power plant, I'd have 3 figures: Homer, Burns, and Smithers, and that's it.
It's so ridiculous that they never made Moe, Lenny, Carl, Barney, Skinner. They never made a Skinner. Like, oh my gosh!
But that's
Game.
Wait, have they make a Principal Chalmers?
Yeah, no Chalmers
either. They made
either.
like Krabappel though, and like Hans Mole Man, and I'm like those.
Yeah, Mole Man did not need a figure. I think Itchy and Scratchy also did not need figures.
Like, bruh, you gotta give us Skinner, dude. Like, he is.
I wish they.
Extreme.
Yeah.
I mean, the good thing is, like, I understand that Series 2 of The Simpsons didn't sell well, but as far as I know, the set sold really well. And the school would have been the perfect set, man. Skinner, Chalmers, you give us, like, freaking everyone.
That would be a great D2.
So what other kids could we have?
You could get Wendell, who's like the barfing kid. You could get dude, the German kid.
Oh, Uter. Oh no.
You could do Otto and with the bots.
Yeah, I think if you did a school set, you definitely need Otto. Yeah, I think you would need Jumbo and Kearney would be good ones to throw in as well.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Jimbo's hilarious.
What other kids would they do? I mean, would it even make sense to do Sherry and Terry?
No, yeah, those would be good ones. I mean, heck, could even do Ron and Todd. I know they don't really appear in the school, but
yeah, I mean, I guess later on they start going to Springfield Elementary, but Ron and Todd would be hilarious as figures, honestly.
Are those the 2 bullies?
No, Ron and Todd are Flanders' kids, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, see ya, Brick Guild. Oh, Kearney and Kearney Jr. Yes, is the baby's name actually Kearney Jr.? That's hilarious.
The school would be a good one. Krusty Burger's the one I really thought they should do. Because I understand they don't want to do Moe's. That's like fair. But you could make Moe the figure.
I feel like Bart's Treehouse could have been like a smaller set if they wanted to do just something that wasn't
like
a
$100
big...
or something like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
What I find funny is the one set that they did do, the Quickie Mart, is now deemed offensive, like, nowadays. I mean, not really, but I guess some people hate Apu or something.
Apu Nahasa Pima Pedalon.
Never got the Quickie Mart. Should have gotten it back in the day.
But yeah, I mean, and there's certain figures that got, like, or characters that got multiple figures. Like, I don't know, I feel like
Bart.
Yeah, Bart got a few of them, because he's in all the sets,
Marge
right?
Get a few as well.
Marge got 2, Homer got 2, Bart got 2. Actually,
Homer got
Bart
3.
Multiple
Homer got 3.
Sets too.
Because Homer got his work outfit, his home outfit, and his, like, nice outfit.
Did the dog ever get made?
Yeah,
Dr. Hibbert, yeah.
Oh, I thought you said dog.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah,
he got
Santa's
it,
little
yeah.
helper. He's I think he's in the house set for sure, but I feel like he came in like as a CMF like accessory, but I don't remember. Dylan says I'm lucky to own every Simpsons set and figure. I own both sets and most figures, but there's some from I think Series 1 that I'm missing. Like I don't have Itchy and Scratchy, or here, you know what? Let's find that out. Let's see what Simpsons figures I'm missing.
Yeah, I actually saw your little like Simpsons shrine you had on your display.
I love the Simpsons, dude.
Yeah, the Simpsons, like whenever I was a kid and there was something on at night, like that was the most cozy show to watch. The Simpsons.
My mom never let me watch Simpsons as a kid, so I've only ever seen it as an adult.
I always found the fact that moms were like so terrified of The Simpsons. Like,
Yes! And then like I grew up and watched it, and I'm like, I could have watched this as a kid. Like it is not that bad.
The Simpsons. Okay, there's two types of parents in this world, and I'm not saying anything about them, but I'm just saying there are two different types of parents. They're the parents that realize Simpsons isn't a bad show, and then there's the parents that don't really research the show and just automatically think bad. And
But that's the thing. Like
that.
Simpsons was really the only thing that my mom was like that with. Like, I mean, I've talked to kids who like their parents didn't let them watch SpongeBob or things like that.
Oh my gosh! If there's a certain type of people I could slap, and there's a lot of people I'd like to slap, those are the people that deserve to be slapped the most. Like, no offense, but if your parents didn't let you watch SpongeBob, and they're like, oh, but you can go watch Disney Channel, son. Okay, Disney Channel's way dumber than SpongeBob. I've seen some of the crap they put on. It is so stupid.
Oh
and I
God!
never understood
You guys unleashed the
this is
beast.
fine.
You guys unleashed the beast.
Oh no, we're gonna have another.
It is so dumb. I can't, like, Good Luck Charlie? You're serious? You're saying Good Luck Charlie is somehow a smarter... that show won't make your kid dumb, but SpongeBob will. Okay,
I mean,
seriously, go jump in a lake.
I mean, that's a terrible comparison, but okay.
I'm just saying,
some parents just don't like SpongeBob laugh or whatever. My mom didn't like SpongeBob's voice, to say, but
like all cartoon characters have annoying voices.
But it's the parents that I heard, and this is such a 2000s thing. I feel like modern day, like, this is way less thing, but back in the early 2000s and 90s, where all moms listened to the news, it was always, oh, I'm not allowed to watch SpongeBob because it rots my brain. And I'm like, hey, can I talk to your parents? Because I need to punch them in the face. Like,
Whoa.
I'm not letting my son watch Pokemon because the pastor on the TV said they're from the same.
Oh my gosh, like parents that are like...
There was that phase, yeah, the like, Pokemon's
oh
devil
my gosh.
worshipping. Bro, Yu-Gi-Oh as well. Yu-Gi-Oh had that connotation as well.
Dude.
I'm glad we're past
Can't
that,
even...
like,
I'm so happy too. Like, I go back and watch those
80s
old...
through the early 2000s.
Oh, and remember like video game hysteria? Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
So you guys wonder why I hate news reporters? That is why. I watched a ton of... When I was like 12, I watched a ton of those 90s broadcasts. They're like, oh, Pokemon, are they bad for your kid? I don't know. And then like all the parents are like, I'm not gonna let my kid play Pokemon. And it's just like, it makes me so angry.
Like right now, every kid like just is on TikTok, and that's way like
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
the internet has changed everything. I mean, for one, obviously cable's nowhere near as big as it was. Two, there's the internet, and that just basically, like, everyone. I mean, as a kid, I remember because I would have been a very first generation like YouTube kid. Like, I remember when I used to watch like Lego animations that F-bombs in them and being like, "Whoa, this is crazy." But then like I'm growing up now and I'm like, why were like it's weird to think about like. Oh, in PG-13 you get one F-bomb because it's just like I hear that so often from everything. But I guess it was, I don't know, like it just doesn't feel offensive anymore.
Yeah, just like cultures, I think it's just gotten, I would say, maybe not edgier, but maybe we're just more tolerant to like stuff that used to be kind of taboo or not as common. Especially the internet had a big, huge influence on that for sure, especially with the advent of all these like online sites.
I think parents just kind of accepted that they can't hide their kids from the world anymore. Like it's just impossible. So everyone's just dealing with it.
Yeah. And then again, also the parents are on their phones as well. I mean, they're also on the internet.
I would have actually. I put up a PSA for all our children in the stream. If you guys want to check that out.
In the what?
On the stream video, there's a little PSA for all you parents concerned about your children watching a certain cartoon.
Oh, that's funny.
It is interesting, and I'm only 19, but currently I have no plans on ever having kids. But like, I can't imagine having kids now because it's like, how do you even like raise them? Because when I was raised, right, my parents didn't have much restrictions on YouTube or anything because they just had no idea what I was watching. But like, I obviously know what's on YouTube and stuff, and what's on TikTok especially. It's just like, how do you deal with raising a kid in this? Because like, I'm a very like, I wouldn't want to censor stuff from my kid that much. Like, obviously, I don't want my kid watching Game of Thrones or anything, but like.
Have you hold on real quick to the chat? Have you guys never seen that meme before?
I've never.
I have.
No, I think it's great once.
That's one of my favorite views. I love that view. But go ahead, Bob.
The one like the LMFAO, that one meme.
Yes.
The detective.
Is your child texting about the clone?
I'll say about this, we'll get back to the Simpsons thing, is I would hear so many kids, and I would just ask them this back in like 5th or 4th grade. I'd be like, hey, you've seen Indiana Jones? They're like, yep. I'm like, you see Simpsons? Nope, not allowed to watch it. And I'm like,
yeah,
that's the flaw. That's the issue right there. You've seen a man shot in the head and blood spurt from his head, but there's a few episodes of The Simpsons I kind of get, but they're so far and few between. Like, the only thing with The Simpsons I've heard is parents wouldn't allow their kids to watch it because they're like, oh, part's a bad influence. I'm like, okay, I guess.
I could kind of see that, actually. I think that's probably the best argument.
But like, I don't know. And I feel like obviously that mold's been broken with Disney now having it on Disney Plus and stuff. And
oh yeah.
Just an interesting world we live in. Like, I mean, if you think about this, like, think about what moms from the early 2000s would think of modern Marvel movies, where it, like, S-bombs every 10 minutes. And it's
but I mean, like I said, that's the thing. Like, but those are unavoidable now. Like, how do you tell your kid, oh, we can't go watch Iron Man? Like, everyone's watching Iron Man, so.
Yeah, like,
exactly.
I remember a conversation you and I, Jay, had a while ago where, like, back in 2005, I wasn't allowed to go see Revenge of the Sith in the theater because it was PG-13.
Yeah.
And nowadays, that's like every movie's rated PG-13.
Exactly.
There's like a bunch of violent stuff and swearing and stuff. So it's
that
like
comes down to.
Bro, the fact that they said the word porn in a Spider-Man movie should be all you like that is very telling about society.
They said that was one.
Yeah, whenever Ned's like in the computer lab, and then they're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" and then he's like, "I'm watching porn." Oh, and they call him Penis Parker. Like, that's crazy. Like,
I haven't seen Homecoming yet, so I need to do that.
Oh,
at some point. Come on.
Good movie.
That's in Homecoming, right? I didn't just make that up, right? That's definitely in the movie.
No,
right?
no, you're right. You're 100%
okay.
right. That movie has huge flaws, but overall it's a good movie. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Huge flaws. Oh, you're talking about Uncle Ben, aren't you? Never mind.
No,
we're not gonna talk
there's
about
other
it.
issues.
No,
There's just
moving
other
on.
issues.
Moving on.
No, there's other issues with that movie.
No,
you
there's
know?
not.
And same thing with Far From Home. Like they're
No.
fun movies. And
Homecoming
really
is
good,
Homecoming is a perfect film.
it's really good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Far From Home nowhere near as good as Home. Far From Home has.
Well, I honestly like it more. Far From Home.
You like Far From Home more than Homecoming?
Yeah, I know.
Homecoming's probably my ideal superhero film. Like Homecoming, I love that movie so much.
Far From Home just. Far From Home, it's just. Like the villain in that movie, Far From Home has a great villain. The studio's great, 100%. Go for it. But some movies need to learn to have serious moments just play out. And
that is you're going to the MCU for the wrong reason then.
No, I know, but the MCU does let serious moments play out. Go watch Black Widow. Black Widow has moments that, we're not gonna talk about Spider-Man.
I feel like the MCU is probably like the biggest culprit for like, there has to be like a joke every 5 minutes. Like the MCU, I feel, is the reason like every movie is like that nowadays.
I sort of agree with that, but I disagree in a sense. Like,
I mean, there are serious moments,
because,
but those movies are definitely written like there's a joke quota. Like, there has to be something funny, guys. There has to be something funny.
But it really upsets me because you watch the OG Spider-Man, which I'm not saying are perfect movies in any sense.
Bro, please don't use the OG Spider-Man as like a positive against him. I'm like, come on, dude.
No, but the OG Spider-Man did have two things. One thing that I'm mad that I wish Spidey would have is a little bit more brutality, not like gore or anything. Let me put that out there. Not like I don't want to see Spider-Man have his arm like twisted backwards and he dies. Like not that, but like if you watch the original Goblin fight from the OG Spidey, it is a little bit more sense like holy crap, Spider-Man's being like beaten up like bad. Where in these new ones you're just kind of like, in Far From Home especially, I'll ignore Homecoming. That's separate, but it just sometimes feels just not good. Anyways, Simpsons, am I right?
This guy. Bro, he tried so hard to like skirt around the Uncle Ben thing without saying the Uncle Ben thing.
Uncle Ben doesn't even matter at this point. There's so many bigger issues with Far From Home.
No, there are not.
Like,
I thought you about to say Homecoming. Okay, Far From Home.
Homecoming is good, dude. Homecoming is such a
Homecoming is perfect.
Homecoming
how is Far From Home bad?
Okay, Vulture, freaking great. Michael Keaton does such a good job as Vulture. Like, don't even start. Like, I will fight you. He's probably my second favorite Spider-Man villain.
Oh yeah, Vulture is amazing. Oh my god.
I do like Goblin a little bit more, but not by much. Vulture.
Come on, dude. Come on, dude. It's not even close.
Okay, anyways. And, like, the serious moments are, like, they play out in Homecoming. That's why I love it. Like, think about that scene where they're headed...
Oh, yeah, when they're in the car.
Homecoming,
yeah.
And Vulture's in the car. And he's like, your old pal Spider-Man. So good! Like, it's
That's probably
so
my favorite MCU scene. Like,
yeah, it's so
so good. And he pulls the gun at her, and he's like, does she know? He's like, knows what's good. Let's keep it that way. And I'm like, dude, this boy's so good.
I totally thought, when that happened, I totally thought, like, oh, they were gonna fight. But the fact that, like, he lets Peter take his daughter to the, like, dance, like, I thought that was a really cool twist to it.
But then Far From Home just takes a giant crap on everything good in the world.
Oh my god.
And I know, okay, I should defend this. I don't hate Far From Home. It's gonna sound like I do, but I actually do still enjoy it a lot. But there's just some big issues that I just can't get past. One, I didn't love the fact, and it's okay, but so we're on our second Spider-Man MCU movie, and I feel like by this point you still need to kind of establish what this character is. Obviously we had Civil War, and Homecoming did a great job, so I don't know if him leaving New York was the best option. I don't hate it. I also don't love it. I'm kind of in between.
I don't know, dude.
It's a small thing.
That is the smallest of small things.
Yeah.
The fact that they play off half the universe dying a joke in that movie made me so irritated.
But
I'm like, why are we all joking about this? This is like a legit.
Because they were already sad about it in the last movie. Like
they
that's
should still be sad about it.
No, okay, think about like COVID, for example. Like I feel like that's living proof of like we've all kind of learned to like we kind of make jokes about it to cope with it, and I feel like that's the same case with their universe. Like obviously, COVID's still seriously. COVID is not a joke, but at this point, having lived in it for so long, like we're making more jokes about it, and I feel like that would make sense for their universe as well.
So you want a good way of knowing, and maybe this is the only one, but this one hurts so much. Oh hey, good Hall.
What's up, David? How you doing, bro?
What's going on, bro?
But everyone came back in Far From Home, so of course they're gonna be more happy.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah, absolutely. They should be happy. I just don't know if the way they handled it was the best. MJ, I'm totally cool with MJ. I think there's just some stupidity, and this is an MCU problem, where like, they try to keep beating around the bush of like. So MJ is obviously supposed to represent Mary Jane. That's exactly. I mean, everyone agrees, but for some reason, like they won't say Mary Jane. Instead, they go, "Oh, her name's Michelle," and I'm like, "Why are we calling her? Just call her Mary Jane." It's like. It's just something stupid. It's not a big deal, but it's just
bro. You gotta come with some better arguments than these. Come on. Her name's not Mary Jane. Why are they laughing at the? Come on, dude.
No, like okay.
Yeah,
so like when a serious moment needs to play out, and it kind of just cuts the tension, which I think sometimes is okay. This is not one of them. When all of Parker's friends are about to die, right, with Happy. And I will say it was funny, but like, and I guess it's such a Last Jedi criticism of it, but like, when they're all like shouting random crap,
sure,
because they think they're about to die, Happy Hogan goes, "Oh, I have a crush on Spider-Man's aunt," and I just roll my eyes. I'm just like, that's
it was funny.
Stupid.
Because I mean, okay, like they're not gonna die. Like I don't know, dude.
But they should die. No, I'm joking. They shouldn't die. But it's stupid, you know.
I think, like, these are still kids' movies. Like, obviously, sad things happen, but I have no problem with that joke there. Like, if you want to watch a sad movie... Okay, whoa, hold on. Whoa.
What?
I mean, there's a reason that, like, no one likes those movies anymore.
But here's the thing. It's okay to have them... They could be like Star Wars. Star Wars, it appeals to everyone. At least it should be. You know, except the sequels, it appeals to no one. But, no, I'm joking. In the sense where Star Wars still has serious moments. Han Solo's death. Revenge of the Sith is easily the darkest of all of the movies. And they still have serious moments littered all throughout that series. And I'll say this, Homecoming had a great serious moment.
But the thing about Revenge of the Sith is nothing funny happens in that movie. So it's not even like there is any humor.
Take Homecoming. In the third act of Homecoming, yeah, there's like a few jokes where Spidey steals Flash's car and some stuff like that. That's fine. But like a good chunk of that movie of the third act, it's pretty serious. You know, Spider-Man's trying to stop Vulture. He lifts the rub off himself, which is an insanely good scene. They had the scene where he gets taken to Homecoming. I feel like Far From Home just cuts it up a little bit too much with the jokes in the third act, but it's all one man's opinion. I don't think it's like by any means the worst Spider-Man movie. I think it's still one of the better ones, but it's just a trend. I would like them to go towards more Homecoming style for the rest of the Spider-Man movies rather than Far From Home.
I guess, Bob. I'll settle on I guess, Bob. But I don't know. For you to preface this conversation by saying there were like huge flaws with Homecoming, and then to make those arguments, like I was expecting more.
I think like Aunt May and Happy dating is kind of a stupid plot point. Not plot point, but a stupid like part of the movie as well.
Why? How? Like
I don't know. It's just dumb.
Oh,
it's just kind of stupid.
Okay.
You know what? We're done talking about stuff.
Yeah.
I'm cutting this conversation up. Let's talk about
I didn't want it.
I find this conversation vague and unconvincing.
Let's go back. Let's go go back in time. Let's talk about Brick Fair. All right,
Oh, were you allowed to watch Simpsons as a kid?
I was actually not allowed to, but from the episodes I saw, it was totally fine.
Which is weird.
But
I mean, because
anyway.
I was allowed to watch wrestling.
Yeah, that's like something me and you talked about, Jay. Is I'm like, you're allowed to watch Stone Cold Steve Austin flip off people and drink beer.
Yeah.
But the Simpsons is one step too far.
But yes, back to Brick Fair. Yeah, so the drive back with me and Colt, like, I feel like the drive there, it's hard to say, because I feel like the drive back, we probably got more sleep before we left. Like, the drive there, we left, like, towards the evening, so, like, we had already been up for a while. The drive back, we were only awake for a few hours. But, I don't know, what do you think? Like, which drive do you think was more difficult to do, the drive there or the drive back?
Oh, definitely. I would definitely say the drive going there, especially with, like, you know, we had a third of the mock.
That is true,
so,
yeah.
like, careful, like, you know, going over bumps and stuff like that. Which thankfully, you know, all the sections held up and nothing was completely destroyed.
Right.
But just driving through all these areas that we've never been in before. And obviously, you being like spooked out because like you live in Texas, everything's flat. So you
Yeah,
go
all
over
those
hills
mountains.
and stuff. It was just funny seeing you like being like freaked out by that. Like,
Dude,
totally
it was
normal.
so cool. I didn't know there
And,
was
like,
that much green in the whole galaxy.
Yeah, that's like totally normal to me because I live in California. There's like
Right.
a billion places like that. So yeah, that was very, very interesting. I heard a lot of music I normally wouldn't listen to.
That's it will
so,
say here actually. So
Yeah,
that's the thing. I didn't hate your music. I will say that.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like like toward the night when you were like kind of sleeping and stuff, I put on a lot of like more the chiller ambient kind of songs I like from a different artist.
Yeah.
Though I did put on Iron Maiden's No Prayer from the Dying album. Which
No
I've heard
Prayer
some
from the
people
Dying.
Are like, oh, you know, it's kind of underrated, and I listened to the whole thing. I was like, not good. So, but anyway, like I would say like the favorite stuff I listened from the stuff you listened to was 50 Cent.
Heck yes.
From G Squad?
G Unit.
G Unit, okay.
Yes.
And my favorite song I heard was a song called Warm Embrace. I don't
That's
know
by
what
Twisted. Great song.
Okay, I like that.
Dope
and
song.
my least favorite artist I listened to, unfortunately, you're probably not going to like this answer, was Young Thug.
Aww.
Not a fan. I felt that Young Thug was pretty generic, and I wasn't a big fan of his voice either.
He's only generic because everyone copies him now. Like, the songs honestly, all the Young Thug I played for you were probably songs from, like, 2014, 2015. But, like, everybody copies his wave now. So, like, if you don't really listen to it, then, yeah, he's going to sound like everybody else because everybody sounds like him now. But, like, he started all that. So, I mean, I can see where you're coming from. I don't think that's a crazy
Granted,
opinion.
I'm not super
but, like,
familiar with the genre, especially the new stuff.
But yeah, like Young Thug, like the way if he sounds like every other rapper now, it's because every rapper tries to sound like Young Thug.
Okay. I see. All right.
It's like I don't know. I'm not like, what's a good comparison for that? It's like it's okay. So I love episode 7, but it's like watching Star Wars episode 7, and then you go back and watch episode 4, not knowing like which came out before which, and you're like, oh, like I feel like I've seen all this stuff before. Like episode 4 didn't really stick out to me. And you'd be like, yeah, but episode 7 got it from episode 4.
Okay.
But yeah, King Bibby knows what's up. Shout out to Bibby.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I don't know that much.
I'm glad you like 50 Cent though. 50 Cent was like my favorite artist growing up.
No, 50 Cent's alright.
If you go and watch my ELW videos, like most of the theme songs that I use in there are 50 Cent songs because that was just the only music I listened to at that time.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, I could dig it.
I think some of the more fun things we listened to was of course the Plinkett reviews.
Oh, bro,
those were
like,
amazing.
I love because those videos are so good. You can literally listen to them as a podcast.
Yes.
And they're so like we watched. I mean, like, I listened to, like, the episode 3 and the Force Awakens Plinkett reviews.
Yes.
And they were just as entertaining just listening to them than watching them. Obviously, like, with you know, the visuals, it's even better, but still. And also, it was very interesting listening to the end of the Force Awakens review, if you know what happens in the car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh, God.
Um,
I'm gonna try to plug it up. Oh God.
That was jeez. Oh God. Hey, what's up, Nate? How you doing, bro? I love seeing those blue studs in the chat. And I didn't love the Last Jedi Plinkett review. I think
I've only seen it once.
There were just some things he just got really wrong about the movie. Not even like opinion wise, but he makes a comment like, "Oh, like, how do they just know where the Resistance base was at the beginning of the film?" And I'm like, bro, that's the entire end of the last movie. Like, what? Did you not pay attention? But anyways, yeah, good times, good road trips. I think, did any other, like, funny things happen on the way there?
Funny things that happened. Oh yeah, so, like, this was at like 3 a.m. We're driving there, and I kind of slightly like go off to the right, and you hit those like bumps that basically tell people like, oh, if you're nodding off, you're snoozing off, like you'll wake up. And Jay got like super spooked and freaked out.
Yeah, it's like, are you okay? Yeah, bro. I was
no, bro, I'm fine. Like it's okay.
I was like at that point, I was about to be like, bro, pull over right now. I'm driving. But I don't know. I trusted you, and then I mean, after this whole experience, like, I trust you to drive anywhere. Like, I think there was this one stretch, like, it was really during the middle of the night on the way back, where you drove for so long. You probably drove, like, 6 hours straight. Mm-hmm. And I won't, like, because I was, you know, like, prepared to drive whenever you needed me to. And you just never asked. So I was like, I mean, okay, like, I'll get more rest. And he just kept going and kept going. I was like, oh my God, what a machine.
Yeah.
Here's the question. Here's the question. How is next year? How are you guys going to get there next year? Flight? Or
we're not driving there again. It's not doing that.
So I think my plan, and first, ideally, I would like to travel with more than just one other person. If we could, if we got like 4 people, the trip would be so easy. Like
originally, if we got Nate and Axie to come down, it'd be like so much easier.
Yeah,
exactly.
Dude, next year I definitely want to go.
So what I'm planning on doing is, I definitely will go to Virginia and Chicago. Because I drove to Virginia this year, I'm thinking I'll probably just drive to Chicago next year so I can take a big mock. And Chicago's a little bit closer. Chicago's, like 2 or 3 hours closer to where I live, so it's somewhat less of a drive.
It's like 16 hours, and from Houston to Chantilly, Virginia, it was like 21 on the map. So yeah, it's actually a significant difference, like 5-hour difference.
Wow, yeah, then absolutely. Yeah, 16 hours and 21 minutes from here to Chicago. So yeah, I think I'll probably drive to Chicago and then see whoever wants.
That's three conventions then.
Yeah, I've only ever done that once before. I think in 18, I went to Chicago, Brick Fiesta, and Brick World all in the same year, which was awesome.
Fun.
So if I do that, then I probably either won't bring anything to Virginia, or I'll bring something slightly small, like something I can like fly with, you know. Because I know I don't want to drive to both. Like, I can't do that, especially since I'm gonna have to drive to Brick Rodeo here in Austin. I'll have to drive 2.5 hours to that. I don't want to make 3 road trips.
Oh, that's crazy. That's right.
Like, how big of a span of days are those 3 conventions?
So Chicago is always like a decent time before everything. Chicago's like mid-June. So there's usually a month or so between Chicago and the other 2. I don't know when Brick Rodeo is going to be next year. They haven't announced it yet. So I'm hoping that it's not the weekend before. If there's a 2-week gap, I'll be happy. But then again, it's not a big deal, because if I'm just flying there, then, you know, I'm not, doing like back-to-back intense conventions. I just, I'll road trips to Brick Rodeo, and then I'll just fly up to Virginia the next weekend. So it's not a huge deal, but I would hope that there's some space between them.
Yeah. But yeah, we got some people in Chicago that kind of live near. I know that Kyle and Max and a couple other people kind of live near the Chicago area, so...
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yep.
I mean, Nate doesn't live too far from Chicago either.
Yeah, that's true.
Bro, we staying at
Chicago's
Nate's place.
East Coast, right?
No, Chicago's like in the middle of the country, basically.
Midwest. Oh, like upper Midwest, yeah.
Well, I feel like Midwest is misleading to people who don't understand the U.S.
Yeah,
Like, our Midwestern states are closer to the east side of the country than they are to the west side of the country.
Yeah.
Like, Michigan is in the Midwest, but like Michigan's much closer to like New York than it is California. But yeah. Playmation says it's also like a 16-hour drive to Chicago for me also, rest in peace. Would you not just want to fly to Chicago? I mean, do you plan on taking a big mock there, Playmation? It would be cool to see some more international boyos at these conventions.
Yes.
Hey, what's up, Lee? How you doing, bro?
Hey. Like, would you bring your, like, if you were going to drive to Chicago, would you bring your next big mock to the convention?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Okay, that's going to be cool.
Nice.
It would be nice to have an entire mock there, because that's kind of the one thing. Like, everyone who came to Virginia, they got to see a pretty impressive mock, but it wasn't all of it. So it'll be cool to have like my complete build there. As much as I'd like to display with Empire Lug, I kind of want to have like my own space for my next mock, only so everyone can see around each side.
Okay.
Because I don't know, like for my next mock especially, it would suck like if that mock was where like, so fortunately with Starkiller, like you really only need to see it from one side, the stage area. But like if I brought my next mock, like I would really want people to be able to see each side, because it's not the kind of thing that you only look at from one area. So I mean, if they can get me a lot of space in Empire Lug, that'd be great. But otherwise, I'd probably want to display
your own table
on my own table.
Kind of like with like if at Brick Fair, Big Planes.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, he had his like own little thing.
Yeah, his Air Force One, which is insane. But he got his own like table like right in front of the entrance, so maybe you can get that arranged.
Exactly.
Talking about that plane, he actually donated it to a museum.
Really?
Oh, really? What?
Bro, I could never.
Wait, which one? The Air and Space Museum?
I would need my parts.
Either Washington or Michigan. I can't remember.
That's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, that guy's so talented. Like, I remember seeing his like 9-foot minifig scale like Saturn V rocket at Bricks by the Bay 2018. I was just like, wow. Like, in his build series for that, like it was basically touching the ceiling of his downstairs, which was just hilarious. But
that's ridiculous.
Guy's a mad lad.
I feel like once I do my minifig scale invisible hand, y'all gonna be calling me big ships.
Big cruisers.
Big capital ships. Alright, R2 has a chest plate now. Dylan says Starkiller base belongs in a museum.
Belongs in a museum.
Starkiller is dead. I killed it. It was weak and foolish, like its creator.
Okay.
It was weak and foolish, like its father. Yes. Do any of you guys have this R2-D2 set?
Nope.
Any plans to get it?
Nope.
I will not buy that, no.
I got the Grogu set, and I don't really care. for
Brag?
just like that.
Oh, that's his back. Oh, okay. I was like, how did I screw this up? Okay.
Whoops. Man, I'm building all the sets that I got over those 2 weeks. I built the studio set I built the 2021 TIE Fighter, the Marauder transport, the Hoth dual pack brickheads that Matt gave me like a couple months ago.
Okay.
And then and I just finished the Gauntlet Fighter. So yeah. Oh, also I built Junker's Starfighter as well.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So yeah, I have all these sets and I don't know where to put them because I haven't redone my room yet. I need to go to IKEA and get new furniture.
I need to.
Need for shelves. So.
I mean, I don't really have space for like standing shelves, but there's actually a few things I want to do in this room. One, I want to get more of these drawers, the blue ones, to put along this back wall. Now that there's not a mock there, just to have more space for parts. Since after Starkiller, I have a lot more parts. But two, I kind of want to put shelves above these, like mount them into the wall, because like I mean, I have space, like but I don't want to split up too much of my collection, because kind of where I am, I'm having to put stuff in the game room, as Colt you saw, but I don't want to have to do that too much, because this is like the main room where I film, and it's also just my main Lego room. So I kind of want to get some like shelves to put on the walls, even if I put some like up there and above the shelves that I put behind me, so I can display more stuffs.
Yeah, displaying is an issue right now.
Was I okay? Am I the only one who was shocked to see that they sell this set at Target?
Which set?
The R2-D2.
Oh, we don't really have like exclusives to stores.
Oh yeah, because that's a D2C, right?
Yeah, and they sell
no,
this at Target. Like I went in Target the other day. I was like, wow, that's the most expensive like Lego set I've ever seen in a store like that.
Interesting.
I can only imagine. I feel like if they had sold like UCS sets and like Target and Walmart when I was a kid, I might have been inclined to buy at least one of them, or like ask for it at least. I mean, they were super expensive. It wouldn't have been a long shot, but one of the biggest reasons like I didn't get UCS sets because you just never saw them anywhere, right? Like they were never in any stores.
Yeah, like you have to go to the Lego store. Like,
and the closest Lego store to me when I was into Lego was an hour away, and they didn't open it until, let's see, when did the Baybrick store open? Because when I started being a huge fan in like 2005, but the store, there wasn't a store in my state until Baybrick Lego store opening date. Let's see. Yeah, they opened in 2008. So yeah, like the peak of my collecting, like I would have just never had access to a Lego store. Squidman says he bought his bookshop from Target. Holy crap! What? That's crazy.
Interesting. Like in a physical store or online.
Is there a reason why it's like an exclusive to the Lego store?
Pretty much just all big. I don't know why. I don't know why Lego does that. If I had to guess, the bigger sets are just a harder sell to like retailers. Like most people aren't just casually walking by the Lego aisle trying to drop $300 on a set. Like, and it's in the kids section too, so it just wouldn't make sense to have a lot of the big sets there.
Also, I think that's also like they do that to draw people into the store.
That's a good point too. Yeah.
And also, they get 100% of the profit from that product because it's their own store. Obviously, they have to cut. The retailers get a percentage of the sale or whatever. So yeah.
Real quick, Jonathan Clue says my mortar trooper has black trapezoids on the back of the helmet, but not the gray. Is that a misprint? So no, it's not a mixed print. I kind of covered this during the earlier days of these figures coming out, and I don't mean the mortar ones. I mean when they first updated the helmet, and in that second wave of. No, was it the first wave? When did that helmet first come out? Yeah, it was the first wave. Yeah, because it was with the Death Star escape set and the Microfighter double pack. So in the Death Star escape set, some of them just didn't have it, but that was a misprint. And then eventually in the battle pack, they updated it to where all those stormtroopers had the trapezoids, but none of the sand troopers had the gray trapezoids. So I don't know, like maybe it's too expensive for them to like run the helmets through both ways. But I'm out. But they have to do it because they print on the front. I don't know. I have no idea. But whenever they do like a special print on the front of the helmet, if it's not just a standard stormtrooper, they don't have the gray trapezoids on the back. So I don't know.
What's interesting is I bought my copy of that Death Star escape set, sort of the end of like 2019, and the stormtrooper that came in that set had the gray squares in the back. So
yeah, so when it first started out, it wasn't like all of them in that set didn't have the gray squares. It was just some of them, because even before the battle pack came out, I bought some of those troops like off of Bricklink for Vardos, and I had like half of mine had the trapezoids and half of mine didn't. But then once the battle pack came out, pretty much all of them had it. So it was definitely like a production defect. Like maybe some factories just didn't run it through the reverse way to get the trapezoids.
Yeah. Interesting.
Ravius Oli says he just ordered R2-D2 not even a minute ago. Wow, that's awesome, dude. You bought your bookshop at Target, so you actually went in the store and bought the bookshop. I still haven't seen any modulars at Target.
Yeah, same.
That's cool though. I mean, more Legos, more big Lego sets in more places is definitely a good thing.
Yeah, I think the next module I'm gonna get the corner garage, because I've heard, there's rumblings that it's gonna retire this year. I think
really?
I can get it for a discount, because I feel like that's gonna be it. I actually I was a big fan of that module when it first came out, but it's kind of grown on me, and I think it would be a good end cap for my display, because I own the Grand Emporium, like the mall, I own the pet shop, I own Assembly Square, and I own the detective's office, so I don't own like an end cap one,
right,
that's around at the display. And I was thinking about maybe getting like a cafe corner, but that's just way too expensive. Even
bro, just Bricklink it. It's so cheap. Like, bro,
Are you sure?
The one that I have, I mean, obviously I had some parts of my collection, but for the most part, like, I spent maybe like $100 on it.
I'll do some research then. Yeah. Because
I would say look into it, because I mean you have to make some substitutions for sure. Like there's some pieces that are just too rare to even consider.
I remember I was talking to someone like in a chat, like someone's live stream. This might have been like one of the quarantine casts for Beyond the Brick Road. Maybe it was like a Boom Build stream, and he was like, "Oh, that's actually like really expensive." Like, so I don't know. I'll try that.
I mean, that's what I did. That's what I did.
I'm probably gonna get the Barracuda Bay.
Yes, definitely get that.
Yes.
Considering they're probably not making a pirate theme in a good bit of time, that's the way to go.
Oh yeah.
I'll definitely get
I kind of want to get a second one because of that.
It's sold out in online, so.
Oh no.
If you have it.
The end is near.
Yeah, it's gonna retire this year for sure. But yeah, great set. It's still in one of my plastic bins. It's not like destroyed, but it's not on display currently because I just don't have the room.
Wow.
Which is sad. Yeah.
The disrespect, bro. There's so many Star Wars sets that I would not display before I took that one off of display.
Yeah, like it's just not an ideal place. I mean, there is one ideal place to put it, but like there's like a few other things there. But I don't know. I could maybe move those around.
But I think I might prefer the boat, like in the boat mode. I'm not sure.
Nah.
Really? Nah.
Yeah.
Have you seen both in person?
The island one is
I haven't.
Is definitely
The island one is just stunning visually. Like the trees and everything really make that build, I think.
Wait, how tall?
It's, I mean, at its tallest point, like the tallest mast has to be at least like 1.5 feet tall, like at least.
Wait, let me just convert real quick.
I've got a great question for everyone.
It's like 1.5 feet is like half a meter.
Oh yeah.
I got a great question for everyone here.
All right, what's your question, Bobbert?
When and what will be the next Episode 2 Lego set? Not including the gunship. No UCS sets. Those aren't included.
The next one. Star Wars set?
No, Episode 2 set.
when do you think the next episode 2 set will be made, and what do you think it'll be?
I think
let's put
the
this
safest
out here.
bet.
I think we should exclude battle packs too.
The safest bet is they're gonna release an Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter next year.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I know.
Gross.
But
I just hope for the Coruscant speeders, man. I really want to.
Yeah, I think that'd be a perfect one to redo. But they also could do like a smallish kind of like $40 set that has like a couple Geonosian battle droids, like 2 Phase 1 clones, maybe like a Jedi we haven't gotten before, and like a separatist vehicle, like maybe like a spider droid, like one of those command post things, maybe even like those smaller Hailfire droids.
Y'all are setting yourselves up for disappointment.
I know, they're not gonna do that. Like I know.
What I find funny is that Obi-Wan's Starfighter, like even that actually doesn't sound like a god awful set in a way. Like that's still better than if they made just another Episode 4 set, you know.
I mean, yeah, it'd be something.
I don't know. I just came up in my mind where I was like, almost any Episode 2 set besides Obi-Wan's Starfighter would be good at this point.
Yes.
Like, what Episode 2 set?
Okay, what if they do like
a
Hellfire droid? Would you be happy with that?
Yeah, actually, I'd be
happy with that. Yeah.
I think that would be given what the last Hellfire droid looked like. I don't think I'd be very happy with that.
If it's I was gonna say if it's well built again.
It was bigger because the last one was $20, and they made it $40.
Yeah.
I'd be happier.
But like at this point, most Episode 2, like I guess a spider droid for me at least wouldn't be that exciting. Obviously, ATT gunship would be perfect. Not gonna happen, but
King
of
Baby
course on
says,
speeders, man.
King Baby says, I think it's very possible they're gonna make a minifig gunship. Hell no, that's not happening.
I don't see that happening.
That's not happening.
Okay, let me tell you why. So they just released
because they hate Lego.
$50 gunship, and if they make a minifigure one next year, it's gonna be $160. The minifigure scale one is gonna cannibalize the sales of the UCS one, because why would you buy the UCS one when you can get a properly sized gunship that's going to have probably 3 times as many figures, and it's just going to be look nicer and be more accurate.
Yeah.
Like more figures and
like they're not. That's not going to happen. Especially I don't see that happening. Absolutely not.
Exactly.
But like I was thinking about that. Any Episode 2 set besides Obi-Wan Starfighter and maybe a Spider Droid would make me really happy. Because, like, it's just, like, I mean, heck, I'll take a freaking Padme's apartment playset. Like, that'd be actually kind of cool. Like...
Okay, let me respond to King Baby. So, King Baby said, yeah, there's a $160 AT-AT, but, you know, the supposed rumored set, that's going to be $800. The price difference is totally different. Like,
it also has to do...
That's like, here's the thing. That's like comparing, you know, the Millennium Falcon to the UCS Millennium Falcon, like the Placer one and the UCS one. They're totally different spectrums.
And the thing about that is, the AT-AT for the time being is still very loved by adults and kids alike. Where the gunship is liked by many. However, there's just not enough demand for 2. I mean, for us, obviously, like I'm sure a lot of people like David Hall and M&R Productions and the Breakaways and all those nerds, they'll buy the gunship like 10 times over. But majority of the market can only have one, and you can only have one every couple of years for their
and like demand. Especially for a ship like that, like a gunship that they don't make very often, like they're not gonna do that, especially at their price point. And again, King Bibby, like this playset's $30 and the UCS one's $200. They're not gonna cannibalize each other because the price range is so different. Like the price differential is so different.
Now, in ATT.
Like that's not.
They're not going to do that. They're only doing the downside stuff for very iconic vehicles like the Imperial Shuttle, X-Wing.
And again, they make A-Wings all the time, so that's not that big of a deal, especially like making the A-Wing version.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, okay. To be fair, could they? Yes, they did it with the turbo tank, but even still, I don't see the gunship being downscaled. There's not even a good way to downscale it at that without making a chibi scale. So
And also the gun with the gunship, especially like the gunship, like as the UCS said, or at least according to Jay, like it's not selling that great as opposed to the hype. So like, I don't think they're gonna do that. Make a.
I do think eventually, like, I'm sure. Well, actually, I take that back. There's a good chance they will never release a gunship ever again.
But why would? I'm just gonna mute Bob right now.
What?
What did he say?
I said there's a good.
Bob said there's a good chance that they're never gonna release a gunship ever again.
That's not gonna happen.
Like, why would you even say something like that?
That's
like,
not gonna happen. Yeah.
What? You guys don't? I think that's a real possibility. I mean,
no.
I'm tired of Bob saying things that make no sense.
No. Let me explain the logic behind it. There is going to be a constant stream of new Star Wars content, and let's just take the judgment off the past 5-6 years with the new movies and the new shows. There was barely any room to breathe until these 2 years that we just had.
But there's still plenty of non-sequel sets we got.
That's true, but I think the large majority were sequel sets, and if they weren't sequel sets, a lot of them were original trilogy. So. And think about this. Yes, we had the turbo tank, but I feel like the turbo tank was one of the last sets we had that were a huge non-sequel set. I mean, I may be wrong, to be fair, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if it's either an extremely long time or close to just never that we get another playset scale gunship for that $160.
Never, like you really, like you would put money on that. Never, like never until the end of time.
I bet money by the end of this decade they're gonna make another playset version.
Bob, like
Absolutely
why
not.
would you like?
You guys really think they will?
Yeah.
Ever?
We just got the UCS one.
Ever?
Clone Wars, like
Ever?
like
But here's the thing: the more and more
Ever?
new content comes out, the less and less we're gonna get of prequels, Clone
Ever.
Wars, Mandalorian. Think about
Ever.
it, 15 years from now, we're gonna have all this new crap
Bob.
come out. They're gonna
Ever.
Keep in mind, Lego Star only existed for 20 years, and there's already four of them. So
Ever.
The 3 that came out were all relevant to the situation.
Ever.
When is the next time we're gonna have a gunship be relevant again? They're probably
Ever.
not prequels anymore.
well,
Ever.
Bad Batch is getting another season, so we might get like a gray version at least.
Ever.
I think the
Okay,
ATC
Bob.
is likely.
Bob. What was the $100 Obi-Wan Jedi hyperdrive ring relevant to in 2015?
That one wasn't, but
Okay.
that was also a stupid set that shouldn't have come out.
And they made a turbo tank in 2016.
Bob.
And they made a freaking Republic tank in 2017 that was only seen in the video games.
Bob.
So that I
Ever.
don't agree with that.
Ever.
Especially since we see that do stuff in the movies. Oh, and Big Mr. T says, when was
Yes.
General Grievous Starfighter relevant in 2020?
Exactly.
No, that's true. But the thing is, those are all sets that aren't $160 sets. Those the gunship is your biggest set of the wave. There's no way there would be a set bigger.
Okay, Grant.
The only chance I would say the gunship has a realistic in the next 20 years coming out is if it's somehow involved in a play set.
Given all the Star Wars stuff that's happening right now, like are gunships in the Bad Batch?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
So.
Like
They are. They're in the Bad Batch. Yes.
Man, but I mean, I could see us getting a Venator and stuff, but a gunship, I'd pull the UCS one out.
I would say it's.
why would you think it's more likely to get a Venator?
We would get a gunship and an ATT before we get a Venator.
Yeah.
No. Well, ATT, yes. I think an ATT is like one of the most likely Episode 2 sets they might remake. Next, I think we're fair. I feel like a Dooku and Anakin duel set is kind of likely. Or Yoda, one of the two.
Bro, it's gonna be Obi-Wan Starfighter.
No,
it's gonna be next year for the anniversary of Episode 2, they're gonna remake Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter as a UCS set.
Oh God.
And that'll be the only Episode 2 thing we get next year. Just watch.
Okay.
Or they'll recolor the UCS or this R2-D2 to be R4 P17.
R4, yeah.
Even though we don't see a full body R4 in that movie. Just don't pay attention.
Dylan Productions in chat says, why was there an entire episode 2 wave in 2013? Well, if you didn't know, when George Lucas still owned Star Wars, he was going to re-release all 6 of the Star Wars movies into theaters in chronological order in 3D. And he did that in, 2011, 2012, and that's why we got a bunch of episode 1 sets. And obviously, Lego plans 2 years ahead what all the waves and stuff are going to be like. And the episode, the re-release of episode 2 was supposed to come out in 2013. So that's why they made all those made all those episode 2 sets. But when Lego, even though that, when Disney bought Star Wars, Lucasfilm in 2012, Lego just stuck with their plan. Same thing with the 2014 sets. The release of episode 3 was supposed to happen during that year. But, despite that being canceled, Lego still went ahead with all their products. So,
what was the biggest episode 3 set from 2014 during that,
the most expensive one?
Yeah.
Was probably the AT-8P.
I gotta say, that episode 3 wave kind of sucked. The episode 2 wave was really good.
No.
The episode 1 wave was really good. The episode 3 wave
was great.
Yeah. It was just a bunch of Kashyyyk sets. Ugh.
Oh, yeah. No one likes those.
When you're making episode 3 sets.
Alright, yeah, no. I'm not listening to that nonsense.
Bob is trying so hard to get canceled.
What did I say? Okay, you disagree. You like Kashyyyk set day.
Yeah, I love those sets.
Because they're so iconic.
I was happy when they did it again in 2019.
Yes, they're good sets, but I'm saying in relevancy to the movie, there's much bigger things you should be making when making episode 3 based movie sets.
Like what?
Freaking Anakin versus Obi-Wan, that is one of the biggest.
Well, they eventually did that, but
but they did it. They did it that year too, because they had the. Well, what year was the Green Interceptor?
That was
2012.
That was 2012.
All right, close enough. Close enough.
And that's not. That doesn't count.
That year.
It does count.
Palpatine's Arrest is a good set. I'll give you that. But I just find it a little silly that. The Utapau set was cool, but
and we didn't just get Kashyyyk stuff. We got a bunch of space vehicles too from Battle of Coruscant.
Yep.
I don't know. I just think there's
stuff as well, and we got a bunch of great minifigures we've never gotten before. We don't never have gotten a freaking Nemoidian guard or a Palpatine for the beginning of the movie.
Here's what a solid episode 3 wave, and I will say the original episode 3 wave is pretty good. But if they were doing this modern, they said we're just gonna Harry Potter it, which they should do. This is a recommendation, Lego. Do it. Where they're okay, each year we'll make sets based off of 2 movies. So episode 1, episode 2, 3, 4, yada yada yada. Right?
No.
That'd be cool.
No.
It would be cool. Yes, it would. Because then we get all sorts of stuff.
No, just do one for each movie.
Yeah, fine, each movie. I'm either way, I'm just saying. A perfect episode 3 wave, in my opinion, we would get a proper episode 3 Anakin versus Obi-Wan, $30 or $40 set. That's the actual duel. That is a proper remake of that scene.
They still have PTSD over making the worst Lego set ever the first time.
Exactly. I think Ultra Droid, that's a fine small set you can do from those movies. I think, and this is maybe a little... No, it really isn't. I think we should get the Invisible Hand. The first, the whole entire opening scene takes place on that ship. It is way more prevalent than the Venator at that. And you can have... Grievous, they have a fight with Grievous, Dooku, all sorts of shenanigans.
They don't have a fight with Grievous. They have a fight with the Batman Guardians, but not Grievous.
Okay, they have a fight scene. I think the Invisible Hand is an episode 3 set that they 100% should do, because the only big episode 3 set that, in my opinion, would be super relevant to the movie is Palpatine's Arrest, which I think is totally fair too, but I think the Invisible Hand is a set we should get in an episode 3 based wave. Because it's prevalent.
I think that'd be a great set. Yeah.
I think the Chancellor's Room. That's one that also needs to. That can actually. Yeah, that should be made with episode 3 as well. Yeah, absolutely. That's,
maybe a small.
I don't think that's a necessary set, honestly.
It could be like Mace Windu versus Palpatine.
But
Honestly, I would rather them do like Palpatine and Yoda's fight than do that set again.
Oh yeah, actually that'd be better. Yeah, that would be the one to do. They haven't made that one yet.
But the Invisible Hand, that is one that I'm so disappointed. It fits perfectly into an Episode 3 wave. There's no excuse not to do it if you're gonna do a whole wave based off the movie. Yeah, and anyways, I don't think anyone will disagree with that. So, we got the Anakin versus Obi-Wan, the Malevolence, maybe like a Vulture Droid. Heck, you could do an ARC-170 too. I'd be okay with that, around the $60 range. And then I don't mind if they do some small Kashyyyk set, like what they did, like a little walker or something, or a Corporate Alliance tank, like something like that. Okay, that's fine, that's good. And then I think we should get one Utapau base set, preferably Wheelbike and Boga, or a Grievous the Starfighter, or something like that. And I think that makes a very solid Episode 3 wave.
There you go. You heard it here first, children.
Hey, why are you booing me? I'm right.
No, I didn't say anything bad about it. I was saying, like, alright.
But, and you gotta look, if you combine the two waves of the original wave of Episode 3 sets and the re-released wave of Episode 3 sets, like, you can make that pretty well, but, like, some sets I never got that they made, and I think cool, but, like, the Turbo Tank,
You know, one
cool,
thing I'm surprised you didn't say is anything in the Jedi Temple.
Yes.
I feel like some sort of Order 66 wave. I don't know. My ideal 501st battle pack, not really, but it's still been a cool set. Would have been if they did Bail Organa, for one, to get an actual prequel Bail Organa, his speeder, a platform leading up to maybe a small Jedi Temple section, and it would come with like 2 501st troops and Zet Jukasa. Boom.
I love that.
And Vader's transformation. That's the other way. That's the other set I'd throw into that wave. That's a good small set.
I don't know. I don't think that's necessary.
They also just recently did that.
I know, it's a good set.
They just put that set in the wave as well.
Like, I think, like, I love the Turbo Tank, but, like, the Turbo Tank should be replaced with the Malevolent, and your big set from Episode 3. The Turbo
I feel
Tank
like an Invisible Hand would inevitably disappoint you, because, like, how do you, like, what do you include inside the set? Like, what room do you have inside?
Malevolence. You do the Dooku room.
There's nothing in the Malevolent. The Malevolence has, like, that train thing, and that's it.
No, we're talking about...
No, it has that whole entire, like, cockpit area. It's really cool.
On the Malevolent set?
Wait, are you talking about...
Yeah, and the thing is, the Malevolence, you get rid of that train stuff, and then you can put in something else, you know?
No,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you do? Like...
No, I'm saying not Malevolence. I'm sorry, Invisible Hand.
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Talking about the Invisible Hand. This is
The Invisible
Hand. So the front section, like the front half, is the bridge where Grievous is in. Then the other half, you could fit in the small room where you have the Chancellor and Dooku. That, and maybe even a hallway that separates them. I might be ambitious, but
that's very ambitious.
Okay.
You can definitely do one of the rooms, and if you're excluded to just one of the rooms, then you just do the Count Dooku room.
But that's the thing. Like, honestly, I mean, I like the Invisible Hand as a set a lot, but I would rather have just a play set of the Duel than them try to cram it into that set.
Well, they could. I mean, either way. How many waves are usually in the summer wave? Let's pretend we get the luxuries of a summer wave. That's...
Like, how many sets?
Depends on what year it is.
Okay, let's just pretend this...
Like, this year, not very many.
Why?
Oh my god, wait, was it... I think... No, this was, like, during the VC and the Discord, but someone mentioned, like, this year we've gotten, like, 35 play sets compared to, like, 80 plus in, like, previous years, which is insane. Like, that's crazy.
Okay, so let's... I feel like we get a $20 set, 100% for summer. We get usually a $30 set, a $50 set, 60, 100, 100, and like 60, right? That's a reasonable... That's what we just got, right?
Yeah. So all I'm saying is, look at, like, the $200 Tantive 4 set and look at the interior in that set, and you tell me, like... How much
Yeah,
interior could you
despicable,
put in a $160 invisible hand?
But I'm just the Malevolence, which has a similar
The
shaping.
Malevolence had some like room that they could have put more stuff in, but like toward the back
But
part
not
was
very
loose.
much. Like,
No, a ton, yeah.
No,
a ton.
I think you could do a decent amount with that stuff. At least
I don't
really
know,
good.
dude. I'm looking at the Malevolence right now, and I mean, the front area is just a bridge, and I mean, if you just use that, like, made that the bridge where Grievous is, the other half of the ship, like you can't, you can't have a duel in there. Like, it's not an area big enough to where you could even fit all the characters in there and have anything that looks close to a duel.
Oh, okay. So you know what you do then? You know what you do, in my opinion. Let's pretend you can't fit the duel. So with the basically the previous Summer Wave, we're going with that. The Malevolence is obviously the $160 set. I think you just have the cockpit up front, the hangar, what is it called?
The bridge.
And in the back, you actually have the hangar. I think you could have a little fun with that.
With little mini Jedi interceptors.
Yeah, you could just like
a
put
micro
some
scale hanger.
Yeah, you could have like
Actually,
a
like
micro scale. It could just be like a little hanger, you know.
I know they never do that. They never do this, but I feel like you kind of just have to make like a UCS invisible hand to have for that ship to like work well as a playset. There's just so many, like, we just see so much of the inside of that ship, and I feel like sacrificing.
It deserves a $200 set.
It deserves like a $300 set, but I mean they never do that. But there's just so much that happens inside it. Like even like the $200 Tantive 4, like the inside of that feels like a letdown because it's just Padme's office. So if it's an invisible hand instead, like how big does it have to be to have any interesting interior?
Here's how it would go. $160 set for Malevolence. The $100 set is now. Did we agree? I still think Palpatine's Arrest should be the $100 set, but you guys said no.
I think it should be like a big battle or something like that. Like, I don't know.
If you're not gonna do $100 Palpatine's Arrest set,
I think it should be like a big Kashyyyk set with like an whatever it's called, whatever.
AP.
AT.
Well, I'm thinking realistic.
Like
I'm not
a
like
Wookiee vehicle, and you get like a snail droid and a dwarf spider droid.
$100 Wookiee catamaran.
I think realistically,
that,
what would be likely is they just release it instead of doing a $100 set. They release an $80 ARC-170, which I'd be cool with. That'd be fine.
It'll probably be 90, but I'd be.
I mean, given that
sure,
the
your $90 set's the ARC-170, and your $60 set is probably the Anakin versus. No, I don't. Kashyyyk sets are so
we have to
silly.
have at least one Kashyyyk set. Like just have to.
I'm saying that's the battle pack thing.
Oh, you want to just make that like 2 battle packs, like the Kashyyyk ones?
Yeah, because I'm saying there's probably a battle pack that'd probably just be a big themed battle pack.
Okay, like we have like an ATRT with
the $20 set's like the one. Oh no, my bad. The $60 set would be the Dooku, Anakin, and Obi-Wan duel, probably.
That'd be a good $30 set with like Anakin and Obi-Wan.
I think that could be the $100 set, honestly.
Chancellor Palpatine in the chair, yeah. Like
I think that could be the $100 set.
The 100?
Yeah. I mean, if the Death Star Final Duel's $100, I think that set could be a $100 set as well.
That's fair. Okay, so your $100 set is the Palpatine versus Duke everyone versus each other.
Yeah.
Then you get down to your $60 set. That could, I mean, hey, if they want to go crazy, maybe an interceptor and a vulture droid.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if they would, but that'd be really cool.
Yeah, like a remake of the 05 set. Like you get an Anakin interceptor and you get a vulture droid.
And then you go with 140. I think 40 is Anakin versus Obi-Wan.
Yep.
Or could that be 30? Or no,
I think you could go. I think you can. Like,
I want it to be 40 because I want Padme in that set too.
Like,
I think 40.
Like what part of the
build would be
taking place in?
It'd be like a little structure where maybe you have a small little lava section with a tiny little like high ground area. That's not a joke. I mean that just part of it.
Yeah.
And maybe you have a little platform of some kind where Padme's like dead.
Oh, so this would be like the platform where the duel begins.
Yeah, I actually don't know, but I think $40 is a reasonable budget, and they could design a nice little, a nice little thing.
I will say $100 Mustafar set could work very well.
Yeah, but I think the $100 set should be saved for the. Well, The question is, do you have the $100 set be? Hey, look who donated.
Hey, shout out to Waffles for the 502 dono. He says, Time Lies Sleep? Nah, it's just Boyo Booze and oh my god, hold on. And little Waffles time. Just popping in to say what's up before I knock out to sleep. Do I look like I got left off medication? I love you so much, Waffles. And Jamie Dorr with the $10 dono. The donos come in waves. He says, why not build a Star Wars ship that's very similar to the models used by ILM? I can see the fighters are made for play. Why not make effects shots and like that they did back in the old days of the OT? I mean, what do you mean by make effects shots? I don't think I understand the question.
But do you guys think the Obi-Wan versus Anakin thing should be the 100, and then Dooku versus Anakin versus Obi-Wan should be the 40, or switch?
Yes, I agree.
The Obi-Wan versus Anakin should be the 100.
Yeah, I think Mustafar would make a much better $100 set.
Because it's more iconic to begin with.
That's the big climactic battle of the film. So
yeah. So actually, the $100 set's Obi-Wan versus Anakin. Then you can really do a lot with it. And then So the only issue is, I think we're going too playset heavy in a realistic Lego world. I don't know if they would, but
we gotta throw some helmets in there, guys.
So the Dooku set is $40. The $30 set could be a Corporate Alliance tank droid, honestly, or it could be a Vulture droid, or something along that. I don't really know what.
Wait, didn't we say the $60 one was going to be the Anakin Interceptor with the Vulture droid?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do the $30 one, the Tri-Droid, the Tri-Fighter.
Oh, that could be kind of cool.
Yeah. And then are we
the
also...
Tri-Droid?
Are we also keeping the ARC-170 this way? That one was 90.
No. I guess we have to include out.
So we're cutting
because
the
$100 set is Obi-Wan. Yeah.
Okay. And then for a $20 set, if we even want to have a $20 set, or so we just skip to the battle packs.
A $20 set could.
No, it should be Yoda versus Sidious.
Yeah, it'll come with like a Senate pod or two.
Yes, like the main Senate pod they duel on. It'd be like, that's the winner.
I thought you gotta do you'll do the one they stand on, like that platform, and then two smaller ones that Palpatine can throw at Yoda.
Yes, and then here's my ideas for the two battle packs. So because Sheik themed. So for the droid one, the main build is going to be, you're going to get a dwarf spider droid, and you're going to get a stack, and it'll come with let me think. It'll come with at least 4 normal battle droids. Maybe throw in a commander. Maybe a super battle droid. We don't see any super battle. I think we do see a super battle droid in that. So yeah, throw in a super battle droid or 2. Maybe just 2 super battle droids, like a redesigned super battle droid, and then 4 normal droids. And then for the Republic battle pack, the main build could be like an ATRT. I think ATRT would be good. 2 clone scout troopers, a Wookiee, and maybe let me think. Make an ATRT drive
pilot, yeah.
Yes, that'd be perfect.
Tell me this isn't the perfect Revenge of the Sith duel. Invisible Hand, Mustafar duel, a big one. Anakin's Interceptor versus Vulture droid for $70. A Dooku duel set that's only about 4, kind of small, but you still get a lot. A $30 Tri-Droid, I guess. The Yoda duel for $20, a battle pack, and a clone battle pack. That's the perfect Revenge of the Sith wave. And it's a realistic one, too. All those prices are all reasonable for those sets, and then they just prove that is the price range they're willing to do.
So, but I feel like we gotta put Grievous in this wave somehow, but I'm not sure.
So that's what I'm saying. Maybe instead $30 set could be a Grievous bike.
Maybe maybe we delete the Vulture Droid, Anakin, and Interceptor one, and we just make an Anakin Interceptor set on its own. Well, it's also kind of weird having like a Tri-Fighter droid set, but not have a.
So $30. How about we put Anakin's just Interceptor? Or let's just put Vulture Droid. We already get Anakin. Let's put a Vulture Droid for $30.
Real quick, Elias says, "Would you want an updated Kit Fisto and Palpatine's arrest? Or are you happy with the most current mold?" I think there's definitely room for improvement with Kit Fisto's like head mold. For sure.
So the $60 set, would we want to do Wheel Bike versus Boga?
It would be nice to see the Boga return.
Yes, like
Okay,
obviously
that's like
you would want
literally.
a mold, right?
That's such a perfect wave, dude. It's not even that hard. 160 for Invisible Hand, that makes perfect sense. Invisible Hand is very prominent in the first like quarter of that.
Oh wait, if we're still doing
First
Invisible
quarter.
Hand, then Grievous will just be in that set. I forgot.
Or here's the thing: if we want to do a Utapau set, we can throw in Commander Cody in there. That would be the opportunity to do it.
Yes.
You could be in that set, and we can even
Yeah,
have.
honestly, I think a Wheel Bike versus Boga is better than Anakin's Interceptor versus Vulture. Like the Interceptors are not hard sets to get from other waves, so you don't really have to worry about them.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously, like we could not include them, but I almost feel like a little bit wrong not having one like in the wave. Like I feel like you kind of have to have an Episode 3 Interceptor. But I don't know. I mean,
you could replace the Vulture Droid with an Interceptor. If you feel that way.
Could we theoretically put an Interceptor in the $100 Mustafar set? Like have it as like a side build.
Oh yeah. Well,
I think that might take up too much of the build. Right?
I mean, they could make it a small one. Hey, if people like the tiny Slave One and the tiny Vader's ship and like the Vader's castle as well as the Death Star, why not do like a kind of like a miniaturized Interceptor?
Then yeah, there you go. Like that's such a freaking perfect wave for Episode 3. Like I'm not gonna complain. The other two waves aren't horrible. Like the original Episode 3 wave is cool, but like this is the most like accurate to the plot and like the most representative of the main points of that movie.
You guys may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like.
It is, honestly. Like, this is a perfect wave they just did. It said, hey, we're just making Episode 3 wave sets. You get a freaking droid. The only thing, and this is the only thing that kind of puts this, is you have the Invisible Hand, the Vulture Droid, and I guess the Wheel Bike. I don't know if they would be willing to do 2 or almost 3 different play sets with the Yoda Duel, Dooku Duel, and Mustafar Duel.
That might be, too many lightsaber battles at once.
I guarantee.
But so many lightsaber
like,
battles happen in that movie.
I know, but LEGO hates us, so, you know.
Maybe that could be in the wave, like the January wave next year. That could be like the May $20 dual set for like the next year.
Wait, Bob, when you say play sets, do you mean location sets? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, I don't get like why you complain about like. Hey, okay, I see your point.
So let's pretend we made this one's also gonna be fun. Episode 2 wave of that same price points, kind of. So like 160, 160, 40, 30, 20, 15, 15.
Okay.
I think this one's really easy, honestly. Like.
Okay, so the 160 absolutely has to be Geonosis Arena. No question.
Oh, I was gonna say gunship, but that also works.
Okay, yeah. Let's make the 161 a gunship. We could make a $120 or $130 set or maybe a $100 set that could be a Geonosis Arena.
I think I feel like you could make a $120 gunship. Just make the current one slightly smaller, and I'd rather have the big money towards the arena, because that needs to be like a loaded minifig set.
So what would?
Okay.
Honestly, okay. I'm gonna have a controversial opinion here. You don't need the gunship in this wave. You can just use an ATT.
No. No, you have to have a gunship.
I think you need a
just
gunship.
No. Here's the thing. The gunship is way more prominent in that movie than the ATT. We barely see ATT in the movie, and the gunship does stuff. Like, the gunships come in, the Episode 1 music plays, they pick up all the Jedi, and they fly around, they blow up Trade Federation ships.
So to be fair,
like,
LEGO would probably be willing. LEGO has done, like, think about the Mandalorian, what's this ship called? The thing, what's it called? Oh, I'm forgetting.
The Mandalorian Starfighter?
Oh, his ship. It has a name.
You mean the slave one?
The Gauntlet Fighter?
What Mandalorian ship?
The Mandalorian
The
ship.
Razor Crest.
The Razor Crest, yeah. They made the Razor Crest in a wave, so they... Honestly, you could just throw in probably a $130 gunship and still have a $100 set with $160.
I feel like if they could make an ATTE if it's around the size, if it's like the size of the 2013 one. If it's like $80 to $90,
so
they could do that.
You guys are convinced that a $130 gunship would still be sufficient enough?
Because like the playset version is actually a little bit bigger than minifig scale, so I think
it
they have
is.
a little bit of room to make it a little bit smaller, but make it still look good, like look accurate enough. So that's
Oh, it's a 630, right?
So like 130 for the gunship?
I would say 130. They could pull off something decent.
So 160 Geonosis Arena, 130 gunship, a $60 I think. Honestly, what would you do? Would the $60 be the Coruscant chase?
I think that would be a little expensive. That's certainly a possibility.
But it's like a Star Wars.
That's true. I was thinking maybe more a $50 set.
Oh, I think that would 100% be a $60 set.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that as the Coruscant chase. $40 set I think should be a Spider Droid. I think that one makes sense.
Okay. Spider
Or
Droid.
Hellfire. Yeah.
Yeah, either a Spider Droid or Hellfire. I think a Spider Droid would be better. And maybe
$30 set I think would be
Hold on. Dude Sasek says, I would rather just get the figures from the duels than get sets based on them. Duel sets never look good. Bro, have you seen that episode 2 duel between Yoda and Dooku? Have you seen the Death Star final duel? Both of them? Both of those sets? I think those sets look incredible. I love those sets.
And also Palpatine's Arrest is
yeah.
also really good.
Also looks very
honestly,
good.
I think for this wave, the $20 set, you could just use that for the Anakin duel. I don't think we need another huge set.
Oh yeah, Mr. Know-It-All makes a good point. He says no love for Jango Slave 1.
I was thinking about that, but the problem is I mean, you would have to cut the arena then. Or you'd have to cut, like, the gunship.
Yeah, that's a thing. Because, like...
Can it be $90?
You could do a $90 Slave 1. Screw it, it's on our list. I'll just put a $90 one in there. Like, Jango Fett Slave 1 would have a Kaminoan in it, by the way. I want to put that out there. It would have a Kaminoan and, like, a little door that the Kaminoan stands in. And then you have Obi-Wan, Jango, little Boba.
Wait, what is this for? What set is this?
It's a $90 Jango Fett Slave 1.
Price.
Okay, Jango Fett Slave 1 is how much?
Actually,
90.
Jango Fett Starfighter. Or Starship.
I'm sorry. Jango Fett's Fire Spray.
$60 Coruscant Chase, $50 Spider Droid. I think the $30 set kind of go to anything. $20 set I think would be Anakin versus Dooku. And then a $30 set, you could literally do anything. I don't know what you do for a $30 set.
Well, what's important in the movie? Some sort of, you could do like a droid factory small deal, like a little conveyor belt.
Oh, that'd be a fun little set. Like, as maybe a little conveyor belt, and that'd be a fun little set.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, yeah, like, and then the two $15 sets are just, I mean, they're just battle packs to kind of go to whatever.
How come? Well, we didn't do microfighters.
Microfighters don't count.
No. Microfighters, this is mostly for, like, a summer wave. Because the microfighters usually a Jan.
They could do microfighters still.
But that's also...
What you want to do, let's just make a dual pack microfighter, make it easy. Dual pack.
Why don't you guys like microfighters? Microfighters are a great way to...
Suck, man. How do you like helmets that's
microfighters
are not...
Right.
Microfighters gave us some of like the coolest Star Wars figures for cheap. I'm not complaining about those.
I think microfighters are fine, but like they're usually not in... Because this is typically, like, this is for a summer wave, and they don't usually come in the summer.
I guess.
So, the perfection of a Episode 2 wave, and honestly, I feel like our Episode 2 could use some work, but Episode 2, just, the problem is it has a lot of stuff in it, and, like, just kind of, you gotta pick and choose. Where Episode 3, I think we covered almost everything. Episode 2 is somehow harder to kind of do, but we have $160 Geonosis Arena, probably includes Anakin, Obi-Wan, Padme, 2 Geonoses, 2 Geonosians, and maybe a few animals.
What would the build be? Like, how would you design that?
Like a gate in a wall, maybe.
Yeah, oh yeah, you have a gate. You have like the platform where because you would probably have to include like Poggle and.
Yeah, like I'm not. Yeah, $130 gunship, which
would
is
be hard to kind of pin down.
because we don't want to go overboard with it. The thing is, Geonosis Arena, I don't even imagine it being a $160 set. That has to be the master builders to work.
Yeah, it has to be like 300, like 350.
I mean, you
Or
could do
just
160 and still have.
But 160 means we're getting a max of probably like 6 figures.
Like I'd say, like include 2 pillars, or maybe just 2 pillars. Like one of them could be like partially destroyed, or even on the ground. Make like a small AKLE build. You know, you have like a small, like the I don't know, that cat thing. You have a big dinosaur.
That cat? Wait, what cat thing?
What's it called?
The animals.
The claws. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's the Nexu.
And I think an important one you should include that people probably forget is that weird, like, kind of alligator-looking thing that pulls the Geonosian cart. You know, you can have, like, a Geonosian, like, riding that.
I don't think that's necessary.
This is why I think it has to be master builders. If you want proper figures, the proper build, and all of that, I think master builders is the only way to go. Because if you're shooting for that 160, you're good. The max, and this is Star Wars we're talking about. There's no way they're including more than 8 figures in that set. 3 of those figures has to be Padme, Anakin, and Obi-Wan. You at least, in my opinion, you'd want at least a Geonosis or Geonosian and Poggle, whatever his name is. You'd want Count, and you probably want Mace Windu, and you probably want Jango Fett. That's 8 figures right there, and you have no battle droids.
Quick Set makes a good point that maybe one of the main characters can be in the gunship. I'd say probably put Obi-Wan in the gunship, because you can have Anakin and Padme riding on the dinosaur.
You mean oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like Padme gets her back scratched in that scene, so I think she's unfortunate.
We need a Claude Padme in that set, and we need a non-Claude Padme in the smaller droid factory set.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know. The ones I'm fully confident would be perfect for this wave is a $60 Coruscant Chase. 100% yes. That's a definite yes. I think the gunship, it's almost like required if you're gonna do an episode 2 wave. Like one of the most iconic scenes from that movie is when the clones come down on the gunships and just start blasting away the droids, right? Mm-hmm. I think a Geonosian arena would be good. I just think that's master builders, man. You go for it or you don't go for it at all. And I think
but that's the thing. Like if it's like I feel like that arena is such a like important part of the movie. You can't only represent it in like a giant set. Like even if you have to omit some things, like I think it's still worthy of a playset because like kids still would want to like reenact that scene. It's a super important scene.
But they haven't done it for those weren't perfect waves, I guess. But I don't know. You could go with the $160 one and just divide the figures between like the wave. Like, the idea is okay. You get the whole wave. You have every figure you need. And so maybe you don't include Jango that, or
maybe you could have Mace Windu in the spider.
You know what? Here I have an idea. Have we come up with a $20 set yet for this?
We have.
Anakin versus Dooku.
Okay, so here's what you do. You make that not a set. And for the $20 set, here's what you do. So let's say we leave Dooku, Jango, and like Mace Windu out of the wave, and then you do like a $20 set, and it's like I don't know what you'd call it, but the area where Dooku and Jango stand, like on that balcony, basically. Like there's a small build of that, and then a small like ground build or a door or whatever, and then you throw maybe those 3 figures in there, and that'll be like your representation for like the villains from that part of the scene, or maybe even not. Maybe even just like Mace Windu and Dooku, or whatever combination of those 3 you want to do. That way you don't need them for the big set, and it's kind of like a complimentary set to the $160 set.
Bro, Waffles in chat says, as much as it wouldn't happen at Dexter's Diner, it would be so cool to see. I would unironically buy a Dexter's Diner set, like a $40 set, like in the same vein as like maybe like the Hoth medical chamber or whatever, or like Yoda's hut, where we get like Obi-Wan, we get Dex, we get Flo, and we get the Doug that says Jedi. Perfect. I would love that. I would buy it so fast. Like absolutely, that'd be great.
So I actually gotta go. As much as I love this conversation, but we should definitely do some more brainstorming for our ideal waves.
Next stream, we should maybe do a prediction stream for like the next wave of Star Wars sets.
Maybe we can split it. We can do like we'll call it like constructing our ideal episode 2 wave plus predicting, the anniversary sets.
I did not hear what the $20 the $20 set you pitched would be.
I was just saying it would be that balcony where Dooku
where
and
they stand. Okay, yeah. No,
yeah,
I got you.
and you put Mace.
Droids?
You can do like Dooku, 2 super battle droids, and well,
I think that'd be too expensive.
Yeah, if you're doing $20, I'd say 3 figures max. So I'm saying you do like Dooku, Mace, and maybe like a super battle droid, or maybe even Jango. But you need Jango, because Jango's in the slave line. So maybe you just do Dooku and like 2 super battle droids on the platform, and then you'd have like Mace Windu kind of dueling with him. Because even though they don't fight, like Mace Windu like tries to fight him when he gets up there. So I think that could be the way you get those figures out of the big set.
Episode 2 would be a $20 balcony set with Windu, super battle droids, and Dooku. Sounds fine.
Yes. And Mr. Know-It-All, you absolutely should rebuild your Dooku speeder.
Incorporate that set into the actual Geonosis arena.
But I would say, no, the reason you take that, I'm saying if you want for the Geonosis arena to not be too much, or like to have more space for other things, you take that from that set. That way you can put other figures in the arena that you maybe wouldn't have.
Okay.
But I don't know if you heard me, Bob, but I gotta go. So we have to close the stream now.
Dang.
But we should definitely, I was saying we should do a stream, like a follow-up to this, where we like really concretely hammer out our like ideal episode 2 wave, plus predict the episode 2 sets for next year. I think that'd be super fun.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Just listening. At 1 a.m.
So yeah, shout out to everyone who joined the stream. Shout out to Axie for just hanging out and listening to us babble on about waves. And yeah, I gotta go to my brother's football game, guys. So see ya. Oh, R2's also almost done. I just need to build his head, so that's kind of cool too.